clap it up for Carlito.
Appreciate y'all.
Clap it up
Appreciate
for him.
y'all. Thank you for having me here. It's an honor. I know
Yes, sir.
y'all do your thing over here, and I want to just be a part of it, but also just get to watch. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir. It's a
Yeah,
podcast
it's
and
about to
chill
get
show.
stupid.
If you listen to this, make sure you subscribe, leave a rate and review, and make sure you comment. I don't know if you putting this on YouTube. You putting this on YouTube?
Of course I am.
All right. Well, subscribe then. If you got that, hit that notification button. You know how to go. How the YouTubers
Hit that
talk.
like button. Hit that like button.
Hit that like
Absolutely.
button, man. And
And
that's
listen,
that.
share it with your friends.
Share with your
If
friends.
you don't fuck with it, share it with somebody you don't fuck with it.
Yeah,
Just
please.
cause, and just be like, "Hi, I'm gonna ruin your
Spread
day.
it.
Listen to this shit."
Yeah.
You know?
I like that. I like that. So yeah, man, this is the podcast and children show. We here. It's been a minute. Obviously, COVID is kicking my ass. Number one, it's tough, So I decided that still gonna pod. Job still got to get done. So we're here right now, and we're about to get something going on. So I mean, that's really all I got. Just a couple of housekeeping things while we've been away for a little bit. Shout out to Councilman Isaiah Thomas for joining us in the last episode. Doing pretty well. Besides that, there's some stuff coming from that too. I would stay tuned. Episode 3 of Ordinary Antics dropped, while we were away. Shout out to Walker. Did a hell of a job on that. Hell of a job to Walker. Hell of a job. Took him about 5 months to almost do that. So it was worth it. And Patreon's doing well still. Again, thanks for staying engaged on Twitter, Instagram. We're not very active on Instagram. Probably will start gearing up. I'm about to delete my own Instagram. So besides all that, thanks for being a part of it. And let's get to the bullshit.
All right. That's what's up, though. So what? You said that's episode 3.
Yeah, that's episode 3.
I didn't watch that one yet.
No one did. Say no, I'm joking.
I'm
A
about
lot
to
of
say
people did
you.
watch it. It blew up a little bit on Instagram. I think it hit like 10K on Instagram, and it did pretty good on YouTube too. So
That's what's up.
I liked it. I got a lot of salt though. I will say.
Oh, it's always
I
gonna.
knew this was gonna
It's
be salt.
politics. That's what it's built off of. Salt.
Yeah, especially because it was the forex episode. So like a lot of people were like, "Oh, you just hate on forex." I'm like, that's really how that should go, in my opinion. Why I do it.
Pyramid schemes are pyramid schemes are pyramid schemes. Hey, but I'm not saying that's what it is. I'm just saying, a lot of people think that's what it is.
They finna drag you.
That's
I already see
fine.
it coming.
No,
That's
listen.
fine.
Forex
Run it.
within
That's cool.
itself. Forex within itself isn't a pyramid scheme. It's the little groups that they have, the groups they conduct. Those are the pyramid schemes, like Fortune 500. Like I'm like whatever it's called. I don't know. I'm like a 500 guy. What do they call shit? Like 500 member
I think it's
platinum.
like Chairman 500 or
Yeah, I'm
some
like
shit like that.
chairman 500. That's all like a pyramid scheme. Either way you look at it, it's a pyramid scheme. No other way you look at it. It's literally a pyramid scheme because you're only
It's
retaining
sales.
knowledge from another person.
It's
Yeah, it's sales. That's all. And yeah, that's all. You guys have sales experience, but yeah.
So we're just
What's
starting
up?
off getting shitted on, right? That's what we wanted here. The first couple of comments we're gonna get are gonna be like, "Oh, y'all ain't shit." Da 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 da. Get some knowledge. I got a group you can join to come get some information.
Y'all salesmen. Y'all know how it is for sales, but it's a
Nah,
different
That's all I
perspective.
absolutely.
said.
You selling people a
Hey,
dream, and that's what it is,
I
and
do
that's the
not.
that's the name of the game. Not you, not anymore, but yeah.
They weren't getting the first half of the cartoon, right? Like the
Mhm.
first half, it was more so of them scheming how to what you and the way I really always wanted to do the cartoon, right? Not to get like long into it, was that I'm trying to make it a little ha ha funny, but it's more so being ha ha funny at things that people are just more so like glossing over, like in society. And the big thing during the pandemic was forex, right? Especially for our ish community, right? People were saying, "Oh shit, let's get money quick, da 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 da, let's get behind this," and not knowing like half of it or what's really going on. And then when you get into it, it's like, oh, you can make money in this, but for real, it's just getting your friends to sign up to eat up top. That sounds like a pyramid scheme. But so that's kind of where the first half came into, and the second half was a conversation that I sort of had with someone that I was like, "Yo, you don't realize what's really going on right now." And like, obviously, I'm always the villain. I'm the bad guy. They're like, "Oh, you hating? Da 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 da." I'm trying to get money. I'm like, I get that, but I'm trying to tell you, some objective shit. But
To play devil's advocate here, just because I don't think anyone else will. I feel like a lot of times that the reason that people don't look at it as a pyramid scheme is probably because it's sold as knowledge and opportunity, which is, again, that's, if you've ever done sales, that's the thing. You know what I mean? Make it sound good so it doesn't sound like what it is. But I don't hate the idea of it. I just hate that it requires people to kind of like pay into it with
Yeah,
their own money before getting the knowledge and
knowledge.
access, when it should just be, here's the group, here's the knowledge, go for it. You know what I mean? I've
Yeah,
never been a fan of like paying for like information that is literally out there. Like, no, none of them paid for that. They got it from someone that was just like, here. You know what I mean? They don't,
yeah,
that's not something they teach in college. In college, you learn about stocks, statistics, those type of things, but like, there is no class for real world functioning numbers that are moving up and down. You learn that from people. You learn that from people that have been doing it, and you just watch them or ask them, and they're like, yeah, sure, here you go. But then you have people who get that information and go, I'm gonna make a profit off that because only he knew, and now I know. I'm not gonna let y'all motherfuckers know for free.
hmm
That's gotta make it come up somehow, I guess. But that's how it was. That's just how I see it.
yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. It's like there should be a warning to like pay for
Absolutely,
anything for like a now. That
absolutely.
should be like the first red flag. Speaking of red flags, that should be like the first one. Like, I have to pay $200 to obtain this knowledge that I can just Google for free, and the only
Mm-hmm.
thing you're paying for is like, I guess, alerts, and you're paying for like, I guess, quote unquote mentorship, but it doesn't. It's not a mentorship because it's like 100 other people there, and we're all doing the same exact thing. How can one of us ever progress and succeed? You know what I
You're
mean? Because
literally being
it's a
raised with your
pyramid.
competition.
It's like a pyramid scheme. It's like, it's literally, you're at the bottom of the pyramid, and the guy at the top is feeding you everything at the bottom, and it just keeps trickling down. So you're
Mm-hmm.
always going to remain at the bottom because that's how pyramid schemes work until you finesse the next sucker. That's why they want you to invite more friends. That's how pyramid schemes work. So unless you're like have sales, then you're always going to be in the same position. If you're not persuading nobody, if you got a good heart, it's not for you. Stuff like that.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And my whole thing was, if you look at the standpoint, you see the people that are like what I like to call high school popular. Like a
Hmm.
lot of them were like, "Oh, I'm popping. Look, do this because I'm doing it." And then in their head, it's like, "Yo, oh shit, I can get these people to do that because I got like 14K on Instagram or something of the sort." Whole time they're doing it because they're thinking, "Yo, if such and such who's high school popular, does this, maybe I should be doing this shit too." You
Hmm.
get what I'm saying? Whole time, none of y'all really know what y'all really getting into, unless like y'all already understood going into it. Yo, this is I'm gonna get A, B, C, D. I'm gonna do this as an avenue. Fine. I'm not saying that Forex is a scam. I never ever said that. But there's principles within it, which is why I made the cartoon. There's principles within it that aren't really holistic. You get what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Like I can download Robinhood or Thinkorswim, and I can download Thinkorswim for sure, for a fact, and trade foreign exchange pairs. I don't have to give Duff $180 a month
To
to
teach me
download
how to do it.
Thinkorswim.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So it's all about that lazy factor. Like, oh, I'm lazy. I just want to be in here to get this, that. Do what you want, but all I'm saying is there's
Yeah.
a ceiling to that type of success. So, but still,
I
do
mean,
it. The
yeah,
world's
but
yours.
just like Carlton said, it's like it's presented to you as, yo, this is the easiest way you can do something. This is the easiest way to make passive income. You know what I mean? It's all about
Yeah,
how it's presented. And for the average person, if I wasn't like, I'm not saying I'm the most financial literate, but I know that if I had troubles looking up something, I can ask somebody that I know, and I know somebody has a lot of knowledge to it. So I was just like, I don't know, man. People just see it as an easy come up, and then they and they just fell short, man. But that's who it's targeted against.
Yeah, I mean, just to my bad, but real quick, just to touch on, not talking about forex or any of those things specifically. I just wanted to say that for pyramid schemes in general, they're called multi. I just looked it up, multi-level marketing businesses.
Mm,
And just because I was thinking about like how, the number of people that make it in and out, I think of retention rates because I used to work for Amazon, which does nothing but fire people. I was
mm-hmm.
like, what's the retention rate for these type of businesses? And just a real like simple answer from Google. I'm sure if you look into more detail, you could get better numbers. But it's like more than 90%
God
of
damn.
like people in that business are operating at a loss.
Yeah,
God damn.
100%.
And it's just like you're literally paying to continue the progress and process of doing whatever you're doing, which means you're literally actively putting money into it, and you're just not making as much back. But the little 1% or 10% that is getting rich are the ones that get your money at the end when you make those monthly payments or whatever. And it's just, do your research, man. Understand what you're getting into. You know what I mean? Everybody want to make a dollar real fast, but if you're paying for that dollar, is it worth it? You know?
I
You're
mean,
getting
like to
that
put
dollar
the
back.
yeah, but to put that bow on it though, what you just said, Carl, leads to my point of they always used to like to use this where they throw it at you. You know, they try to smack you in the face with it, honestly, like financial freedom. You just
Oh,
prove statistically that 90% of them are operating at a loss. So where's the freedom financially? Right? But again, still like that's their biggest sales pitch. You know, don't you want to be financially free? Give me your money to be financially free. Now how the hell does that work?
because they're gonna teach you. They're gonna teach you how to fly, baby.
Yeah, like
You
Herbalife. Right.
know?
Right. But
Let me tell you
again,
right now, if you listen to Herbalife, just realize that a lot of the people promoting that have gotten surgery. Don't listen to people that have gotten surgery about diets and weight loss. Doesn't make
whether it's
sense.
whether it's the Avon person, whether it's Herbalife, right? Whether it's your 1-800 car insurance, whether it's your freaking what they used to sell back in the day, Avon, Forex, it's the same makeup on the same clown every 10 years, every single time. And you know that.
Just comes in a different form.
Listen, Avon was clutch if you lived in the hood in certain places.
Don't you
That's
do
all I'm
that.
saying. I'm just
Don't you do
saying.
that.
They had
The
like
Kitchen
dollar
Nine,
deodorant. Listen, dollar
come on.
deodorants.
You was out there
If
getting rashes for a
Nah,
dollar.
listen. I'm so serious. If you was in Struggle Street, around where I used to live in Jersey, there were shops. Not even Avon people. I never seen no Avon person come to my door, but there
Oh
were
boy.
shops that had Avon products. You know what I mean? And there would definitely be people out there who ain't had the pockets like that, and they go get dollar deodorant. It'd be a little roll-on deodorant. I'm not gonna say it looked any different from something from prison, but it worked. It was deodorant. You know what I mean? You know, did what you got to do.
And you
There
paid
was
a
people
dollar?
out there selling that
Yeah,
stuff.
it was
Like
dollar
door to
deodorant, bro.
door.
What you need to buy it for when you could just steal it? That don't make
I
sense.
mean, all right, Duff.
You could just steal it. I don't understand that. I still do it for just to bring
Hey,
back the
come on,
times.
man.
I
I mean,
still be
Walmart's too
stealing.
powerful, man. You gotta
Yo,
sometimes let them know what's up.
yo, you
Listen,
gotta get back at the corporation. You gotta be mad at the machine, not the man.
I'm not going to promote stealing, but I don't see nothing wrong with stealing from the rich.
Listen, steal from the rich. It don't hurt their pockets at
They
all.
they've been stealing from the middle and low class for years. So
You ever apply for a job and it's like, and they ask you like a series of questions about the company, and it's like, yo, it's a scenario. It always pops up, and it's like, if you see, like, how do you feel about stealing something like small?
oh
Is it
man,
serious? Man, I'm the most honest person, man. Yes, the options like the company won't worry about it. I'm like, the company is not going to worry about this. It's
My
literally
man
a
gets
piece
one
of
question wrong
deodorant.
on purpose all the
Yeah,
time.
yeah, because
Every
I'm
time.
telling them what's going to happen. Don't put me as your corporation.
I used to
That's
try and answer those like the way they wanted. So it would be like, "Do you think stealing is bad?" I'd be like, "Highly agree.
But you
Cut that
failed
nigga's
at it.
hands off.
Yeah,
Cut it off."
you be failing it because they want you to be like, I guess human. They don't want you to be
That's
like
what I
robotic.
realized.
Yeah,
But
cause
I
that being
mean,
said, I also am about to start doing my applications as a white man just to see what happens.
hmm
I've decided that I want to test that because a lot of people get success on Twitter with that, and I think it's funny, and I want to do an experiment. So
I mean, my name is relatively white, so I usually get callbacks for everywhere, which is
my name is
crazy.
Carlton. There's only one black man that everyone knows with that name, so they make the
Yeah,
assumption that I'm
Fresh
white
Prince.
anyway. You made the assumption I was white.
Yeah, I did. I thought you were a white man. So what type of name is Carlton?
And
but though,
my
are you looking for like an office job or something different?
man, we ain't talking about that right now.
Nah, it's the reason why I'm asking you though, because like it's odd because of like office politics. A lot of people in office politics they make like these weird jokes, right? But they're the most cringy jokes ever, right? The cringiest of the cringe. Like I'm pretty sure your name being Carlton, right? You came across at least about 8 or 9 heads that walk up to you, mad cringy and just
Every day of my life, I've had this name has been a burden upon me, and
for real.
I don't blame my mother. It's a great name. I've come to love it. Every time I meet a new person, every time I see their hands do this, I
Yes.
want to punch them in the face every time. Sometimes it's little kids. They be like 10 years old, and they be like, "Hey," and I'll be like, "I'll kick you right now."
Mm-hmm.
But you get over that. You get over that eventually, and then you calm it down, and you like, you know what? Yeah. And then I look at people, and now I've reached the point where I'm like, yeah, I can do it. I won't, but I can. And I just leave them thinking. That's it.
I feel that hate. Being from West Philadelphia sometimes is some of the worst things
Born and
ever.
raised?
Stop it. Stop it.
Go ahead.
Yo, every time out the state, where you from? I'm from Philadelphia. Oh, really? What part? I'm from West Philadelphia. Oh, on the playground's where I spend most of my days. Yeah. Isn't that right? And you're like, yeah. Mm-hmm. Never been to that park a day in my life. I promise you.
I was about to make a smart ass comment about you being in the park store, but that's fine.
Don't do that.
Oh man, I forgot. I had a question to ask y'all before we started. Very important question, right? So you in a life or death scenario, you and your girl or significant other, whatever y'all prefer. Everyone can answer this, but you got 1 week before you got someone coming to save you, right?
Who's coming to save me?
Just paramedics, somebody that can save you. You can fill the scenario in with whatever you want. Avalanche, trapped in a mountain, some man named Bertha got you locked in a basement, whatever the situation is. But you're down to it's just y'all two, you stuck. You gotta cut off one of y'all legs to eat. I want you to tell me why you cutting your girl's leg off and give me your explanation.
Yeah, my girl's thick, so we're gonna be eating for a minute. That's all. She is thick. So I mean,
here's my reasoning, right?
Yeah, you started off, so I can piggyback.
I'll start. I'm a man, right? I want to be able to take care of my significant other no matter what. If I cut off my leg, it's gonna be harder for the both of us. You know what I mean? It's gonna be harder for me to do things and get things done and make things happen. If we cut your leg off, that's just more work for me, and I'm okay with that. I got you. But if we cut your leg off, you for you just get to sit down all day.
Hey, now.
Hey. Okay, so here's mine, right? Since Carlton did that, I can do mine then, since that was pretty cool. All right. So, yeah, I will cut her leg off, definitely. It's not going to be mine. I'm a bigger guy. You see me in person, I'm a big guy. So, I can move a lot of things. I'm very strong, so I'm very useful. I'm not saying she's not useful, but...
what are you projecting?
No, you're projecting, actually. Toxic masculinity. But,
live on show.
I don't know, strong. I'm pretty strong. I can do a lot of handy things. So, I can... By physical nature, I can do more work. You know what I mean? Because I was blessed with those type of abilities. So she will have to understand that. Cut her leg off. We can eat, and yeah, that's it. And then when we get back to safety, I'm gonna leave her because I got to talk to another woman with 2 legs that can walk, and that's just what it is. Sad to say, I love her though. Like we can still be platonic friends and stuff, but that's like, bro, you cut your leg off.
For you.
We can't even like. I can't even.
No! I ain't letting you go past that.
If we marry,
cut her leg off for you.
Yeah, if we marry, we can't. I can't look you eye to eye. I gotta look down.
I just want to say that in my scenario, I stayed with her. I just want to keep that on the record. I stayed with her.
Not me. I'm not.
So Shiz,
live with us though.
So Shiz, how are you gonna cut your girl's leg off and dump her a couple months later?
First of all, I would never cut my girlfriend's leg off.
That's fine. She can do it.
So I'm going to take the heat. I'm going to cut my leg off because I understand the ramifications if I cut her leg off and we die and we don't make it. She's going to be mad as hell for the rest of her life in heaven that she sacrificed something for nothing. So I'm going to cut my leg off, and, which I'm thinking outside the box here, I'm just get a prosthetic. A nice-ass prosthetic.
So
you can have 2 prosthetics.
You can. Efficient, by the way.
I want to retract. I would cut my leg off only on the condition that I get to pick what type of prosthetic I get. I don't want just a leg. Why not? This is a made-up scenario. Why not?
No.
Why not? Okay, in our scenario, she can pick what prosthetic she wants. But you just want a regular foot. I don't want a regular foot.
What you want?
I don't know yet, but it's not gonna be no foot.
Come on, man. You're not about to drag me into this. Number one. But
You
all I'm saying
sick.
to you is
I wasn't
you
even.
can't
Yo,
pick
you
this.
really
You
sick.
can't.
Yo,
You can't
yo.
pick this. This
So
ain't
I can't pick my
no.
prosthetic.
We're not talking about prosthetics on the podcast. Chill, yo, look. Let me tell you something, right? But in this scenario, I want to know what we're dying from. Like, is there like where are we?
He
You
said
gotta
you
paint
pick the
this more.
scenario.
What you want?
You pick
How
it.
you
You
feeling?
pick it.
What's your heart telling you? Zombie apocalypse, avalanche.
I mean, it can't be a zombie apocalypse because we're not surviving. We're not surviving. You know, if I'm down or she down, we're gonna just be eating
I am.
at that point.
I'm surviving.
A
I
zombie
promise.
is
Oh,
eating
you know
your
what?
ass.
That brings up a good
No.
point. That brings up a good
I
point.
am
Your shorty get a
surviving.
scratch. Your shorty get a scratch. You both know she about to turn. How long before you blow? But
I'm doing it right
do what you
there.
gotta
I'm
do.
shooting.
Right there on the
I'm doing
spot.
it right there.
On the spot.
Easily.
On the spot.
On the spot,
Easily.
Spot.
bro. She got time. What's wrong with you?
What's the time frame?
Zombie.
I just said she had some time before she fully turns.
What
What's the-
zombie is?
you're
What
not
kind of
telling me the-
zombie are you?
What do you mean? What kind of
tell me the
zombie? What does it
time
matter? I don't want him to answer
Are you
that
left for
question.
dead zombies? Are you left for dead zombies?
You're a zombie. What's the difference between a zombie and a zombie?
A regular zombie.
Some
We can
zombies
do
are
a
way more
regular. We can
advanced
do a
than
regular
others.
Walker Dead. No, we can do a
Like
Walking,
Walking
zombie.
Dead. Like you.
You want to know?
That looked
you
really
wanna know
bad.
what kind of zombie it is. You want to know what kind of zombie it is because you want to see if you can still have a relationship with a zombie.
You're sick.
That's why
You're a
you're asking.
sick man. You're a sick man.
Why does the zombie matter?
Hold on. There is a movie. I forget what it's called, but it's about a zombie who's a zombie, but he's still kind of a man, and
know
he
what
gets
you're
into
talking
a
about.
relationship with the John that finds him, and she's like, "Wait, you're different." I forget what it's called, but that's a
I know what
movie.
you're talking about. I know what you're talking
No.
about.
I'm talking about because you gotta think about it. If it's like the Walking Dead zombies, they're not that smart. But the Left 4 Dead zombies could swim. They could run at top speed. They had access to their full. It matters what kind of zombie we deal. If we
Why?
deal
Because
with
you
your
can.
normal
If you kill her, then what's the point?
What does it matter?
zombies don't just die by just a bullet. You got to do. Extra.
Okay, so you're trying to make sure that you kill her, is what you're trying to tell us.
She's a zombie.
Why
That's
does
what we
the
said.
zombie type matter? Yeah, it doesn't matter.
Okay. No. Let's feed into it.
Killing her and
Flying
I'll cut
zombie?
her head off.
Let's feed into it. She will
The
turn
zombie
in,
regenerates.
she will turn into a bloater from Left 4 Dead, the John that blows up and gets guts everywhere. She's got exactly 22 hours and 33 minutes 45 seconds before she transforms.
Can we save her?
No.
I'm killing her hour one.
She's not.
So
What am I supposed to do?
you shooting hour one?
I'm
Probably
shooting her
quicker than
hour,
that.
like second one, probably. Yeah.
Y'all crazy.
Yo, I
What
don't
is
know.
your
I don't
point,
know
Carl?
what's about to happen.
I just wanted to.
Yeah,
It's
exactly.
an introspective into your thoughts. Like, damn, you shooting her
Yeah,
hour
that's
one?
Bro,
hour
she's a
one,
zombie.
probably 10 minutes in.
I mean, she's turning into a zombie. She ain't there yet.
All right,
What
listen.
am I
All right.
supposed to? Damn, babe, you're about to be an unearthed creature.
I'll probably start
Find
confessing
happiness.
mistakes that I made.
Not me. I'm taking it to the grave.
Faster.
Well, then I'll
I'm
just
taking it
shoot
to
her
the
in
grave.
hour two. It's
Now you're hour two. What are you
Listen.
doing with a human zombie, Carl, for an hour?
it's if it's my girl, I want to, I'm gonna give you at least 10 hours. Here's the thing: if she start deteriorating, then I might need to, if like hour 10 she can still talk English, but she like her jaw falling off. I don't know how I'm a vomit. I don't think I can keep it going at that point. Though.
Yeah, why you put yourself through that trauma and stress? You putting yourself through that trauma.
Well, I want to be there. I want to comfort her. It's her last hours.
Yeah.
I want to,
she's
that
about to
10
bite
minutes.
you, stupid. She's about to bite you.
not
You do that
for
in the first
22
10 minutes.
hours, 35 minutes, and 44 seconds. I think that's what I said.
You can do that in the first 10 minutes. You can say, hey, I love you. You know what I mean? We've been through a lot, but listen, you failed to keep yourself safe, so now I have to kill you. And I'm sorry that had to come to this. And then we do a
take me
little
with
cry.
Damn, that's crazy.
We do the little cry scene. I don't cry, I just stare at her while she's crying. And I'm like, are you ready? All right, turn around because I don't want to see your face when I do this. Just shoot her in the head. And that's that. She's a zombie. She's dead already, man. Rest in peace.
Yeah, she's a zombie. Like you, and I mean, the only way I would say is that there's like an antidote that can bring her back, but
That's gonna be that
Nah.
gotta be your story. That gotta be like your story. Like I'm searching for an
Listen,
antidote.
we writing the movie right now. A couple trapped in a emergency situation. He eats his girlfriend's leg. They get out. realize that the world's been taken over by zombies. Boom, she gets a cut. He got to kill her. We
That's
already
not
got
even
the
good.
plot going.
You know why that's not good, Carl? You know why that's not good? Because her leg was already cut off. And now she's a turn to a zombie, bro. I will leave her.
Well, here's the thing: the leg got cut off for
nothing.
natural reasons.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I
But
gotta help
technically, that
her
means it's
with the
our
leg.
fault. It's our fault that she became a zombie then, probably. Because she probably couldn't.
Well, no, because if we would just hey, listen, that goes back. Because if we would have cut my leg off and the world was a zombie apocalypse, now we both screwed. You can't carry me.
No, she probably would have tried to save me, and I would have just killed us both because I'm a zombie.
Well, here's the thing. Knowing me, my personality, whoever that scenario is, like whoever I'm with, they're probably leaving me on the spot. I'm an asshole. They're like if they're gonna cut my leg off and be like bye, because I'm a dick. So I'm probably gonna get left behind. I'm okay with that though. I'll come to terms with that.
Let's go. All right.
All right. So before we it's a cutoff. Y'all just noticed the cutoff. First of all, we're amateurs. We're not like professionals. We don't really care. We don't do this for clout or nothing like that. So we don't care if it look cute or not. We just here to play with y'all. Pause. We just here to give y'all information, have fun. So what y'all just experienced is called a technical difficulty, and that's what we were just going through for the past half hour. But we got everything adjusted. As you can see, I don't have a face no more. I previously had one. And if you're listening, that's even better because you don't have to understand the technical difficulties that we went to. You're just listening. So we appreciate you for listening. But yeah, if you're viewing this on YouTube, it was a technical difficulty. That's why you don't see my face. If we're no longer using my phone, I'm using my laptop. And my laptop camera is terrible. It's in like toaster ADP. So y'all good.
Just want y'all to know that we did in fact try. The two gerbils running inside the computer, we fed them. One of them died in the process. We're trying our best here. So
yes. But yeah, back to what we was talking about. We was talking about the zombie apocalypse and sacrificing your girlfriend.
Show your face.
No, I'm not.
Your face. You can't talk until you show your face.
No, because I really can't. I'm telling you, I'm not.
It won't work. It's fine.
Yeah. My camera is bad, but as long as you can hear me well, you good. You don't need to see my face.
Right?
Huh?
You're not doing this naked, are you?
Yes. I unclothed myself from what y'all previously seen. I took my hat off.
I never ever heard anyone say I unclothed myself. I took my hat off.
But yeah. But yeah,
oh
we
God!
Just talking about the zombie apocalypse and sacrificing your loved one. I said on my end before I got cut off abruptly from my iPhone. Rest in peace, Steve Jobs. I got cut off. I said I would sacrifice my girlfriend in a heartbeat easily. And we was talking about the zombie movie, right? We was talking about building a plot. So the plot was basically you were trapped somewhere, I guess. And then your girlfriend's leg has to get amputated for y'all to survive because y'all eating her leg.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's a zombie there. So the zombie, and now she's getting bit by a zombie. Now, do you kill her? I don't know the exact time that he gave us, but it was like a 24-hour span.
22 hours, 33 minutes, 45 seconds. I believe that's what it was.
And I said I will kill her in the first 10 minutes because I don't need a long dialogue. The dialogue doesn't have to be that long. Like, it doesn't, you know what I mean? Some things are just too prolonged. Keep going.
I was gonna give her more time just because it was like that's her last moments, and it's like when you put your dog. This is terrible. We talking about wives and girlfriends, but when you like put your dog down, and they be like you want to sit in the room with it. So it's like in my head I was thinking like that because I mean I don't think do they do that when you put family down? Usually they like do you want us to cut the thing and they just
probably take your last words. You probably say
do that. They do that.
It depends on the person. Like
I didn't know that.
They probably hold hands before they cut the cord, or you just say.
I guess in my head, the assumption is if they question whether you cutting the cord, you can't really speak for yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So in my head, it's like you can have your last goodbyes with that person, but I guess they really can't do nothing. But she has an opportunity. In my head, she has an opportunity to say what she needs to say. I have an opportunity to tell her all the times I fucked up, and I just feel like it would be a great. I mean, I'm not that much of an asshole. I've never done nothing terrible, but I would be like, that time we got drunk and I said that you peed on the floor when you were drunk. I lied. It wasn't you. I peed on the floor when I was drunk.
So you
Oh,
choose to
I
be
mean, that type
toxic when
shit.
she's about to get turned to a zombie.
What you gonna do about it? Get mad?
that's true.
Like I said, I didn't do nothing crazy.
I'm taking everything to the grave. Everything. I'm not saying what I did wrong.
For a fact.
Nothing. If she says something like, "Yeah, I know," just before my last dying breath, I know that you cheated on me. Okay, I'm killing you.
Okay.
10 minutes in.
That's the
That's
last
why.
memory you want to
That's
have.
the last memory. Yeah, and that creates my villain origin story. You know what I mean?
Yo, are we cooking the leg, by the way? Or are we eating raw leg?
Oh my god.
Yes, you gotta cook it. I'm not eating no raw leg.
Somebody gonna let you cut their leg off, cook it in front of them.
I mean, she getting parts.
Eat her own leg.
What she gonna do? Eat nothing?
It's the podcast and chill show. I'm your boyfriend and Carlito. This is us, episode 1 in our new season of 2022, man. And right now, it is some very questionable things said on this podcast, but it's all right. I love it. We're gonna keep rolling with these punches.
We definitely should try to make it more positive.
Are you talking with your headphones right now?
You can't hear me?
A little bit. It's going in and out slightly.
It's like when you start talking, it's really low, and then it picks up.
Yeah.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's
yes, sir.
perfect.
All right, I'll stay at this octave then.
Okay, it's a very big announcement before you proceed to talk, though. But it's a very big announcement that we have to make that we didn't announce when we first started. It's 2022. Nobody said that. We came into the new year. That was the big announcement.
Oh, shit, yeah, we're here in the new year.
2022. We're here in the new
Okay,
year.
I thought you about to say some shit.
No, this is day 3. This is day 4. This is day 4 of 2022, man. The podcast. We're just going to continue to do what we got going on. You know what I mean? New faces, new experiences. But that's all I gotta say.
I don't believe that's Duff No Beer behind that camera.
That is Duff.
It could be anybody. It really could be anybody.
It could be anybody, but it's not. I don't need to lie. It can't.
You
can't double me. You can't. It's impossible.
Tell me something only Duff No Beer would know.
My feet stink.
He actually, word to the wise, Duff No Beer has pretty feet, by the way. For a big man, he has very nice feet.
Come on,
I get that a lot. A lot of women compliment me on my feet too. That's the crazy part.
Very nice.
We talking about toes?
No, let's not get on that topic. That's crazy.
Please.
I got the worst toes in this chat right now.
Yo, bro, your feet look like they got ran over.
Oh my god!
I seen this man at slides one time and said, "Damn." I'm playing. No, they're not that bad, but I just like fucking with them. You do look like you ran a couple miles, underground with the homies.
Harriet.
Man, it's calling me. Anyway, first episode of the podcast, man. I don't know what.
Fix your headphones. You sound low.
Take your headphones. I mean, if you take your hood off, you probably sound better. Or put a hat on or something.
Or don't have it so tight. Look, he can't even take his hoodie off. Look at this, y'all.
Too tight.
Look at this.
That's why we can't hear you.
Look at him.
Hopefully, when the audio comes, it sounds good. If not, I have to do a lot of editing.
Can you speak?
You're not Duff No Beer. I don't know how you got in this stream. First of all.
Yeah, you sound better, but you're still a little low. That's cool. You need to get a headphones with the mic in it. You need to plug in headphones.
He could also try investing.
Yeah. Yeah, invest into a mic. You have a mic.
He's just lazy.
I am lazy. I do a lot.
Put your volume up.
My volume is up.
Then get loud. Oh, we didn't hear that at all.
We didn't hear it. That's the crazy part. We didn't hear that.
I didn't hear that scream at all, yo.
Yo, he sounded like, don't you know, remember the Lion King when he tried to do a man roar and he sounded like a baby?
Oh, yeah.
That was that. You probably gotta take your headphones off, man. I'm gonna be honest. But
I want y'all to know this is the most successful production I think I've ever been a part of.
I love it.
Yeah, there you go.
Now you sound like you're here.
There you
Really?
go. Now,
Yes.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. I love it.
Took
Hey
long
man,
enough.
look, 2022. You know, it's about progress. It's about switching,
Hopefully
being
it sounds good
comfortable
on
and moving
SoundCloud.
swiftly.
That's
You
that's
know.
what I'm saying. SoundCloud and Apple Podcasts. And if you're listening to this on SoundCloud or Apple Podcasts, make sure you leave a rating and review. But
Right down below.
right down below, tell us why you hate the podcast or tell us why you love it.
Let us know, because maybe we'll, we won't. I'm gonna tell you right now, we won't. If you don't fuck with us, that's okay. But
Oh yeah, I
we'll
don't
still
care.
read it.
I'll read it and we'll laugh at you.
We might even laugh at you on, the podcast.
But
So you know what? If you want your opportunity to get your shitty ass comment read on the podcast,
yeah,
tell us why you hate us below.
tell us why you hate
And
it.
you might be the
Below.
one.
Yeah.
So what you're saying, Vanessa Valley?
Oh, just something normal. I feel like 2021. We thought it was going to be great, and
I
I
didn't.
think like 2 weeks into it, we was like, damn, this shit about to be worse than last year. Like 2021 was literally 2020 part 2, in my opinion. So
I've stopped having faith like 2019, dog.
damn,
Every time the year changes, I just hope we don't blow up.
who hurt you?
A lot. The government.
We can talk about that. That's something I
Government.
want to bring up.
I don't want to
Start
talk
it
about
off.
the government.
I don't want
Go
to
ahead.
talk about
Before we even get into that, because that's a whole can of, I don't even know, we can't even call it worms anymore. Anyway,
Lizard people. A can of lizard
something.
people.
But I just wanted to know, what were y'all 2 biggest things? It don't got be good or bad. 2 biggest impacts in 2021 that was like, damn. What was your biggest damn moment of 2021?
Biggest damn moment of 2021.
It can be anything.
You know what? Not to ride on the coattails of a national treasure, but Betty White passing,
the ending.
So
Literally.
unexpected, dog. So unexpected. The day
ending.
before the new year?
It's crazy.
99.
No, there was no way to prepare for that at all. I love Betty White. The Golden Girls, love them all.
Love Betty White.
And it's just like the jokes about Betty White passing away have been around for years because we're like, when's it gonna happen? Yeah. And it's just like, dog, to get a day before the new year, 2 weeks before that woman's birthday, I don't care. We talked about this. She hit enough leap years that she is well over 100 years old. So she hit that number. I don't care what anyone has to say.
She hit over 20 leap years.
She went out in style. The day before, she definitely left her mark by passing the day before the new year.
The new year, yeah.
She'll be remembered literally forever.
Yeah.
Forever. It'll be her anniversary every December 31st. It's crazy.
We gotta learn.
Betty White dying was so crazy.
No, I was just gonna say we gotta learn how to exchange dead people for live people because I think we could get rid of the Queen. It's about that time.
Oh my God.
I'm just I don't think she's quite that necessary anymore. But hey, continue on.
Wow, that was a hot take. It was a real hot take. But I mean,
do you have British listeners? Please tell me why you hate me or why you hate the Queen in the comments below. Go ahead.
We got some people over in London. Shout out to them. But I mean, hey man, I don't, But look, my biggest damn moment, I would say in 2021 would probably be losing Young Dolph because that was one of my favorite rappers. Even like 2017, 2016 Dolph, like all his mixtapes, his Dumber Dumber mixtapes, Paper Route, all that type of stuff. That was one of the rappers I say that was mainstream, but really wasn't though. Like if you knew him, you knew him. And it was like watching him like start rapping and then like his beefs with everything and like how his music evolved and how he became his own entrepreneur. I was like, damn, I fucked with Young Dolph a lot. And I was like, I just woke up and he was dead, and I was just like, it's crazy. Granted, people say we put too much stock in celebrities. It's not like I'm idolizing Young Dolph, but it's like, damn. Like,
appreciate the work he did. How far, just what he was able to accomplish.
Exactly. Like I'm pretty sure he did like bad stuff, but who doesn't do bad things like outside of the limelight? But my whole thing is, I appreciated the Young Dolph, the artist. Like who gave me a lot of great music to listen to. So that was my damn moment of 2021.
I'm trying to think what else happened.
Damn moment of 2021.
Hmm.
What happened in 2021? I don't know.
Oh
I
wait,
guess
hold on. Did the attack on the Capitol happen this year?
I
Was
don't
that this
remember.
Did
year?
wait?
Was that this year?
No,
Oh my
no,
No,
it
god.
was.
Was that last year? That was 2020? Okay.
Yeah,
winter of
yeah, because Trump
2020.
was still in office.
Trump was still in office.
No,
We got
wait,
hacked.
January 6th, 2021. Yeah,
That was 2020? Yeah. January, the insurrection. Let's
it's about to be.
go.
It's
That's
about to be a year anniversary. Actually, the year anniversary is
yeah.
in 2 days. What we doing for the
Yo,
anniversary?
running up on the steps. What you mean?
Yes, sir. Taking a picture like the Rocky Steps at the Art Museum.
Oh my god. Wait, before they hold people liable for the things they do after words have been said, we're not encouraging any behavior or the stepping on any government steps. It's just funny.
It's
No, it was
honestly
hilarious to
sad.
me.
It
You
was
guys
sad.
honestly said,
It's honestly sad. Just saw like how much power groups of people have, and they weren't necessarily reprimanded as way other groups of people would have been. Without putting it in a certain light.
yeah,
But I mean, it definitely showed the eye of like the I would say definitely the underbelly of what we see versus what we don't. Like
hmm
when you come to a city like Philadelphia, you do the tourist thing and you go to Geno's, you go to Liberty Bell, the art museum, but you don't go to Kensington. Ladies and gentlemen, here is
Beautiful place.
Kensington. Here's Kensington.
Beautiful place.
Insurrection. And it's just
beautiful
like,
place if you're addicted to meth.
Absolutely, yeah.
wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you
that's the
like
truth.
drugs, it's wonderful.
Yeah, it's a wonderful place. It's
If
like
you
a
ever wanted
it's
to
like
be
a melting
so
pot.
high you can touch your knees with your face while standing up, Kensington.
Yeah,
Which is also, it's not really talked about.
Of
It's
course
not
not,
really
because why
talked about
would
at
you?
all.
You know what I mean? If you're trying to show
Yeah.
off your state to other people for whether it be commercial interest or just look at our state, look at us, give us stuff. You're not
come
gonna
move
show off
here.
your
Yeah,
crackheads. Why would you
yeah.
do that?
That's why they moved. I don't know. I don't even know the initiative that they took, but they tried to move all the people. I don't even know what to call them. I'm gonna just say crackheads because it's a podcast. They tried to move everybody that was drug users away from Kensington and move them elsewhere, just to present it to other places. Like, here, it's a nice place to move. Come move here. It's just
Yeah.
it's just painting over shit with gold. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? That's all we're doing.
And just to be serious on it, we're saying crackheads and stuff like that. Like we get it. There's more politically correct
Drug
terms.
abusers. Yeah, drug
Exactly.
users.
At the end of the day, there are people that need help, people that are stuck in situations, and there's things that the government just doesn't do to handle those
Hmm.
situations. And that's how you get the
100%.
situations you get.
Yeah.
And it's just like what makes it worse is that we don't even have like fun crackheads anymore. You know what I mean?
No, we
Like
used to have
remember,
them.
like
Hmm.
you go ahead, go ahead, go ahead.
Oh, I said we used to have crackheads that like come in your house and fix the washing machine. You know what I mean? Because like we
Yeah,
always
crackheads
talk.
that'll do a job for $1.
Yeah, because it was
Clean your
like they were
car.
like we always say they was from the '80s. They were men from the '80s that were tradesmen, so they knew how to fix certain things. So they knew how to fix a washing machine. They know how to come downstairs and where the water heater was at. They know how to do the tanks and stuff like that. And it's just for $5 they'll fix your entire house. You don't even need to call a mechanic no more. These crackheads today, they just like crazy. Like, what are you
Yeah.
doing? You can't even like tie your own shoe.
They're not even interested. They don't have skills. I seen a crackhead put a squirrel on a leash. Do you know
Yeah.
what skill it takes to put a squirrel on a leash
To
and it
catch a
listens to you?
squirrel, to put a squirrel on the leash.
Yeah, he had a train too. I never seen that
I
before in
mean,
my life. And I don't even know if I can attribute that to the crack. He might have just had that skill, and that crack allowed him to go experience his life and figure out what he's good at. I don't know.
so my question would be, if you know, whose fault is it? Is it the person's fault? Is it the system's fault? Who do you
Oh,
think? Where's the blame?
there's a
That's deep.
multi-layer question, bro. That's
I
there
know
is
we
no
talking.
there is no
Mhm.
simple pointing a finger on that one. There's On a personal level, there's a health factor in terms of what people choose and choose not to do with their body. So there's a choice there. There's a choice in the motherfuckers who decide they gonna push what they push in the neighborhood. There's the motherfucking decisions by the government. There's the motherfucking decisions by Reagan. It's not one single thing that you can point at and be like, this is the singular cause of this problem. And then hitting it from a psychological viewpoint, a lot of times what we do is just as a country, and I don't know if it's a heavily an American thing or not, but victim blaming. We do that real good here. We'll do that real good, and it's just like sometimes it's deserved. I'm not gonna. Well, no actual victim should be blamed for anything. Let me clarify. No actual victim of something should be blamed for something that's not their fault. But because we live in a country built on a lot of lies and just getting it how you can, there's a lot of people who end up lying to get where they need to, and it's just like, no, we're coming for you because that's bullshit. You know what I mean? But on the other branch of that, we do victim blame. The government very much victim blames. When looking at things like that, it's like, well, what did they do to fix it? What did they do to fix it? They started doing drugs, and it's like, okay, yes, they did start doing the drug. I can't disagree with you there, but they're now addicted to it. They can't do anything to stop it. There's no one there to help them. There were things there to help them that the government keeps taking away. It's just, like I said, there's a lot of ins and outs to it that fault can be given and passed and all this stuff. I personally feel like at the end of the day, it's a problem that needs to be fixed. Fingers, there's no point pointing fingers anymore. It doesn't matter. We got crackheads. Just stop. Pointing fingers is not going to fix it. At this point, we should look at how to fix it, and fix it as in help those people and help the communities, not fix it as in put them somewhere or cover them up.
Exactly.
And let's, pretend like they're not there. Like, no. If you live in Philly, you know for a fact that there are tons of huge ass, empty ass buildings and lots that do nothing. And it's just like, why not turn that into some kind of just homeless shelter? It's literally doing nothing. You're tired of seeing homeless people on the streets, so you do things to keep them off the streets. You get rid of public benches. You put down weird things in weird places so people can't loiter over there anymore. Yeah. So it's just like you do everything in the world to get rid of them while not fixing the problem that leads to being more of them. So, there's just shit you can do to fix it. At the end of the day, it requires money, and I hate to hear we don't have money. Like, that just doesn't make sense to me. The excuse of we don't have money just doesn't. As a country that's built on money, that has the highest GDP, some of the highest GDP compared to other countries in the world, like, we're America. Fuck yeah. Like, come on. There's no reason that money is an excuse for not being able to support the things we need and just general programs and shit like that. It's a matter of the people in charge and decisions being made, and again, lots of hands at control.
That's where I would agree with you with in terms of who's in charge and what decisions would be made. I definitely agree with you on that point, simply because there's statistics off both ends of your argument. Like, people will say, well, Philadelphia in total is and this is some statistic that would point against your argument would be, well, Philadelphia as a whole in terms of a big city is the poorest big city in the country. That's a statistic. Or that people will say, well, the United States as a whole, per capita, per 100,000 person, is the poorest country.
Mm-hmm.
The most in debt country.
Mm-hmm.
Besides Japan and Mozambique and Italy, the U.S. But the U.S. has the largest population per 100,000. So those are the type of things that would be against your argument. But more so,
well, here's the thing: you're talking about public money. I'm not talking about public money. You're talking about like the money that people have in their pocket, like money per capita, like the amount of people and things like that.
About money. So money for budgeting. No, I'm first of all, let me be the first one to say that I agree with you. But I'm saying that I do know some statistics that could go against your argument, but I agree with you.
And but that's what I'm saying. There's always going to be arguments against. There's always going to be arguments against what you can and can't do and what's feasibly possible and things like that. But I still believe that, there are things that can't be feasibly done in the snap of a finger, but that doesn't mean they're impossible. there are things that could be done that we could start working on. That even if you're like, we can't put 2 million in funding into this in this quarter right now, it's fine, okay. But that doesn't mean don't start it. You can't give up 100 grand to maybe start something or do, you know what I mean? It's like everything else that they'll put money into is a process. 76 has been under construction since I've been here. So is 95, and so is half the other shit that goes under construction in this goddamn city. You know what I mean? It's a process. Why not treat those things the same way? You know what I mean? It's not going to be an instant fix. It's never going to be an instant fix. But setting up the different layers and steps to eventually get to an answer, I feel like that can never be a wrong thing to do. You know?
But let's also err on the side where when the government wants something done, it's going to get done immediately, and that's also where it draws that line to me that shows this is definitely not a priority from those with the powers that be, because why? They're not poor. None of their family's poor. And if they are poor,
it's not a direct problem to them.
They put it in a bubble. So again, like,
but that's
me being objective.
I was just gonna say that's where a lot of local legislation and things come into place, and where they always say pay attention to your local voting things, and I 100% agree with that. As as black people, let's be realistic. It's hard to have anybody to vote for, and I understand that. And so all I always tell my friends is just know what you want, know what changes you want to see, and then if you're going to vote, see who agrees with the shit that you agree with, and keep it at that. If you don't fuck with anyone, then I'm not going to be the one to tell you to vote, because again, as a person of color, I understand the struggle of I want to vote because this is what my people fought for, but what the fuck am I voting for? You know what I mean? It's very much an internal struggle that I feel like a lot of people deal with, and I get that. So just educate yourself on your politics, what as much as you understand and things like that. And then if, big things like the president and global GDP and foreign nations, if that scares you and that's not what you're worried about, learn about what your senator is doing, what your mayor is doing, what the police precinct is doing, please. Like, there's little things that you could pay attention to that don't require you to have to vote for Big T or Sleepy Joe. You know what I mean? There's little shit that actually matters to you that you could pay attention to and do what you gotta do.
I totally agree with everything you're saying, because it's like right now we got like the highest crime rate, right? Philadelphia got the highest crime rate, right, in the U.S. And we see a lot of people on social media constantly complain about the crime rate and what's being done, but nobody actually wants to. It's not, to take the initiative to go out and vote. Like if you're complaining about a problem, you should be willing to want to fix it. That's how I feel about it. You know what I mean? Like if you complain like, yo, I stink. If you stink every day and you don't want to wash up, that's literally your problem. You're not taking initiative to wash up and change. You're just going to stink. So I feel the same way with almost everything. Like if you complain about, if it's not an issue to you, then whatever issues you do have, try to change it. You know what I mean? That's what I'm an advocate about. Like violence is like, obviously violence is bad, but like I care about the youth. So what I do, I reach out to the youth, talk to them, try to change them, because they are the future, actually. You know what I mean? So it's just taking initiative. If you complain about something and you constantly complain about something, then nothing's going to get done because you're not trying to make change or even taking initiative.
Exactly. And then, you know what? Just to step away from politics in general, like ignoring voting for people and things like that. Exactly. Just going off what you said. Like, if you tired of seeing garbage in your neighborhood, for example, right? Whatever political leaders are slacking in that department, whatever it is, cool. If you are tired of it, people in your community are tired of it, and you're in a community where y'all communicate,
y'all can get together.
Get together. Just be like, we'll do it our fucking selves. You know what I mean?
It's all about unity.
Being like
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. This wasn't even my point, but you just brought up a great point. You can travel anywhere outside of Philadelphia County. I know I'm being local right now, but I'm just trying to prove a point here. For conversation's sake, you can travel anywhere in Philadelphia County. So the city of Philadelphia, once you go outside that county line, the neighborhoods, about how their neighborhood looks.
Yeah.
all the time, to the point where it's like you saw some trash on the ground. Yo, in front of my house. Don't do that. This is my block. You don't think it happens? I promise you it does. I
Does.
promise, and you can take that to any big city that is in the middle of a city that has expanding like county neighborhoods. Most of that stuff only happens in the city because, again, to try to bring it back to my point I was going to make about voting, they made voting and things like community a real, and they, I mean, legislators and in the previous predecessors, they made these things educational right, not a human right. You get what I'm saying? So like they use these words like GDP. My 60-year-old grandmother doesn't know what GDP means, right? So if your main platform is increasing, you know, the curve on financial growth per fiscal quarter, she's gonna look at you like, why do I care? What does that mean, right? And you see it a lot when you have these smart people, because usually the smart people you would think are the ones that are making all these laws, but they're trying to implement only really affect the people that are writing them, right? So when you think about it, not a lot of laws are reviewed and sought over by normal people, but the laws are made to affect the normal population. So I'm when I do this type of stuff, especially on this lane, it's more so to try to think, how do we get laws and how do we get policies to be written by normal people that affect the people it's written for? The common, catch 22 of lawmaking, essentially.
So
Yeah, I
you,
mean,
yeah.
no. If you want to go ahead, Duff, go ahead.
No, I was about to say you're basically saying like for the people, by the people, really,
Yeah.
because
So
because
That's it.
yeah, a
That's it.
nigga, a rich somebody that's rich can never, well, they can't relate currently to somebody in poverty. You know what I mean? They can never relate. Like you got a Jeff Bezos. Jeff Bezos can never relate to literally any of us. So how can he make a law or relate to anything that we got going on? It doesn't make sense. Just like people in positions of power, they're rich. They've been rich for a very long time. Why are they making laws for the impoverished? It doesn't benefit it doesn't even, it only benefits themselves at the end of the day. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
hmm
That's like saying one plus two equals one. You know what I mean? It doesn't make sense.
and it's you and me have talked about this before. Where my stance on politics is that
Mm-hmm.
I this is my personal opinion. This is not the opinions of the show, but I hate politics and I hate politicians for the simple fact that I believe that the governing of people and making sure that as a people, as an environment, as a community, just all these different factors shouldn't be left up to opinion or preference. You know what I mean? It shouldn't be so flimsy how people decide how other people live. I hate that that's how that is. I feel like if you're going to be in a position of leadership, if you're going to be leading this country, leading a group of people, your one and only goal in terms of that position should be the expansion of those people, the conservation of the planet, the whatever we're living in, the quality of the place we're living in, and like that's it. I feel like the problem with politics is once business got involved with it, because now and this is essentially a very conservative idea, but the idea of government being heavily involved in business, and so businesses kind of wanting that pressure off and things like that. There's all these different factors to it, but those are things that I don't think should be on any type of equal level as the decisions being made in terms of human quality and environmental quality and things like that. So I believe that there should be a large split and just a different process for those things in general.
Yeah.
Because lives and the planet and like those things shouldn't be up for debate. And the fact that they are is the problem.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense to me either. I agree.
I would agree with that. And the reason why I agree with that is simply because there's a lot of times, as you know, most of the people that run for office are old.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah,
Old
yeah.
They're
white.
old.
Majority
Old,
Old,
of
white,
them
and
white.
selfish.
Yeah.
and it's like a lot of people put when you run for office, it's all right. I have done X, Y, and Z as a businessman, or X, Y, and Z as a lawyer, or X, Y, and Z as a
Clout.
former Marine, military, whatever. I've worn this hat. And because I feel like I've done right wearing this hat, people will vote for me because I wore this hat. And because I wore this hat, now I'm going to make decisions based off of how I was wearing this hat. So that's kind of where you see a lot of it. Like 41% of the people in the U.S. Senate are lawyers. Why? You don't need to be a lawyer to work in politics.
Because those positions aren't based on the quality of idea, it's based on the quality of man, I feel like, and that's the problem. A lot of people get their positions. A lot of people, first off, they, like you were saying, they were lawyers, they were this, they were that. That's why they're choosing to run. It's literally clout. It's literally clout. It's political old man clout. That's what gets people to decide to run to be. Dr. Oz is running to be president in 2024. Yes. Mm-hmm. Dr. Oz, the guy that used to be on the daytime TV show telling people that if you eat dark chocolate like twice a day, it's good for you or some shit. Like,
yeah, Botox is great. And
exactly. It's just because people know him and he has ideas. Simple as that. Whether they're good or bad, he has political ideas. He has an opinion, but he has clout, so he can do what he wants.
From a diplomatic standpoint, though, when will we understand that this is not a diplomatic move, right? In terms of, hey, let's put the next popular guy. It was like after Obama, actually, just been one big shit show after.
You going in and out again, bro?
Going in and out again. You got to take your headphones out.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir. Yep. Real clear.
All right. After President Obama, in the second term, it has been one big shit show after another in terms of who are we going to use diplomatically to represent our country. There's no way in this world that you're going to tell me that the face of America is Dr. Oz.
Motherfuckers were hyped when they were like, oh, there's a chance The Rock's going to be running. I'm like, yes, because I want the leader of my free country to be the guy who people's elbows for thousands of that. And that's not a shot at The Rock. I love him. I think he's a great guy. In terms of political ideas, he has some great ideas in terms of like his personal views on politics. But like, it's like and it's weird. It's weird because in the same vein as me saying like, I hate the idea of just having anybody go up. I hate the idea of having anybody go up because it's clout based. I do believe that the people that, it should be anybody. You know what I mean? When it comes to like, in my head, the way a politician works is the way it should be, is that this is a person that was active in making, putting out ideas and actions in local governments or whatever. They were like, hey, this is what we're doing for the neighborhood. I think this would be a good idea. They put action into it. They did things for that. Boom. That person decides, all right, fuck it. You know what I mean? I got some good ideas. I want to do better. I'll vote. I'll try to get into a position of power. I don't think that person should be like a recognized lawyer or anything like that, because those positions, that's not what's needed to govern people. That's not what's needed to provide for people. I don't need a lawyer to provide for me. I need someone that's going to be a human and think about humans and think about what humans need. All humans equally. You know what I mean? So it's just like a lot of these positions, I feel like it should be the plain average Joe guy, because that's who's here. That's who's living it. That's who has the ideas.
Average Joe guy is the question.
Yeah, if that was an option, if the plain average Joe guy actually had the backup and support, then but they don't, because they never will. We can talk on hours about how this is a two-party country, no matter how many people vote to be something different. There's a lot of things in place to keep people in power, and it comes down to money too. You know what I mean? You can have the best ideas in the world. Bernie Sanders is a great example of this. Not to say that he has the best ideas in the world, but you can have ideas and you can have plans. But if you ain't got the super PAC to back it, sit your old ass down, my G. Let Ben and Kamala take care of it. You know what I mean? It all comes down to money at the end of the day. So even if you had great ideas, perfect ideas, the system that we have in place, that's not who's getting the attention. It's who's got the money, because that's who the businesses are going to give their money to, mind you. Who's going to have their back? Who's going to do this for them? Who's going to look out for business interests and foreign interests? Like I said, being a politician, there's a lot to it than just taking care of people. And like I said, that's where the problem is. If politicians was about taking care of people strictly, then a lot of the shit that motherfuckers use to get into positions of power and that they use to win, whether it be millions of endorsements from all these other people, it would mean nothing. because you're essentially. I believe that politics and like business, whatever, should be two separate things. At that point, just like have a president of business or some shit. I don't know. The government, the USA CEO of financial institutes or some shit. I don't know. Just something different. Because it doesn't help that we're mixing money with taking care of lives and the planet and shit that we need. You know what I mean? It just fucks up the process. We was talking about zombies and cutting your girlfriend's leg off like 30 minutes ago. You know that, right?
Oh, that's how the podcast goes. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
Yeah, that's how it usually goes.
Gotcha. Okay.
I mean, there's something I did want to say about that, but I mean, I don't want to make this a whole thing about politics. I really don't. I really don't.
That's why I tried to pivot there because I don't want that. I don't want this to be that.
I really don't. But to sum it all up, black folk, minority folk, there's nothing wrong with splitting your ticket. If there's a Republican you like, vote for him, and a Democrat you like, vote for him. Do that. Don't be the norm. Do the extra. Trust me, you'll feel happy about it. Anyway,
take care of your communities. Look out for the kids because they're the ones that's going to be taking care of all of us in the future.
Most important, look out for the kids, man. Teach one. Each one teach one.
Exactly. Stop going with the mindset that you're living for you and that's it. Because once you die, there's still a million billion other motherfuckers that got to deal with the mess you leave. So let's be considerate out there, y'all.
Not Duff No Bear behind that camera.
It is not. It is definitely not him.
That's Duff No Bear behind that camera.
It's
definitely
not. Show it. Show.
So as I was saying, so where are we pivoting off to?
I'm gonna pivot something crazy. Can we talk about Marvel?
Talk about it.
Have y'all been watching the Marvel TV shows? Anything like that?
Nah, some of them. Some of them are boring.
So I finished What If. Fucking fire. We'll talk about that in a second. But I finished What If. I just finished Captain Falcon and Bucky. I'm pretty sure that's not the name of the show, but I finished it. And I'm like on the last episode of Loki. The only reason I bring this up is, so I don't know how it is for you guys. When Endgame came out, that's where Marvel movies ended for me. You know what I mean? My 11-year build-up was for that movie. That's what I grew up watching. That's what I was prepared for. That was my ending. All the other movies are just superfluous, and it's just like, oh, that's fun. So I've been off my game. I have not been in the theaters. I've missed so much shit. I don't know what's going on.
You didn't see Spider-Man?
Still haven't seen it. We were supposed to go. We haven't figured that out yet.
Yeah.
We were the three of us, five of us. There was a lot of us that was supposed to go.
5 of us, yeah.
We still got to do that. I still want to do that.
I'm with it. Damn, I was trying.
I need to see that movie.
Spidey, man. Whoo, cause
you saw it already, right?
I saw it. Yeah.
I'll kick you in your chest. Don't you say a word.
Not good.
Oh yeah, that's right. You had that dumbass opinion because you're you, man. Let me tell you, he was upset because they gave Spider-Man a thick ass in the movie, and I think that's totally okay.
What?
I think that's fair.
No.
That's what he said to me. I didn't see the movie, but that's what he told me. He came to me. They were like, yo, they made Spider-Man thick. That's not right. That's weird. I kind of like it. And I was like, bro, it's a movie. I don't know why you care so much. But that's what he approached me with.
No, because Spider-Man can be as thick as he wants to be, and I would love him, in all aspects of life. My problem, and I'm not going to spoil it, but my problem was the overall plot line. It made no sense, but I'm done.
Okay. When I watch the movie, I'll be able to give you a greater thrashing on why that's wrong, but that's fine.
Because the thing is, I'm the perfect movie goer. Because you want to know why? I hate all movies. So I'm not telling you why I love it. You got to really make a good movie for me to like it.
So name a movie that you absolutely
I'm not
love.
dealing with mediocre bullshit.
Thank you, Duff. I was just about to say, what movie do you love?
What's the movie that you absolutely love?
What'd you say?
What's the movie that you absolutely love?
I don't have one.
Have you ever watched The Joker?
The Joker actually was very good.
Okay, that's good. The
So
Joker is one of the
Heath
best
Ledger,
movies I've
very,
ever watched.
very, 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 very.
That wasn't Heath.
That wasn't Heath Ledger. It was Joaquin.
Oh, you talking about the Joaquin Phoenix one?
Yeah,
that one was also very good.
Okay. So are you like a story and quality kind of guy?
I'm 100% quality and story person. Yes.
Okay. So I've gotten to this argument before. This was kind of like the point of this discussion, right? So a lot of people, I've been talking to people, and they're like, I hate the big action CGI movies and shit like that. And I'm kind of on the same wave. You know what I mean? one of my I hate. Ooh, I'm gonna get so much flack for this. I hate the Fast and Furious series with a passion.
I mean, they all stink.
Here's the thing: they started off as bad movies, but they were like chippy, fun, creative bad movies. It was about a bunch of people in cars stealing shit. And by the time we got to the third, we was in Tokyo. We had DK. All that fun shit. It was interesting. It was interesting.
Last time it was good.
Then they just started doing wild shit, and it was like if they did it one time and that's how it ended, it was like Fast Five. We about to do some real wild shit. I would have been like, cool. But then it just kept going, and they kept doing more and more weird shit, and it was just like, how are y'all qualified? Y'all just stole a truck in the first movie. Like it was just like it just ended up being stupid to me. The plots were stupid. They kept bringing back dead characters, and I realized that exactly. I used to make the joke years ago that this movie's going to space, right? This movie's going to space. Wait, lo and behold, I should have made a bet with somebody years ago for fucking money that we would be in space with these goddamn movies. And they're just action cash grabs. People are like, it's great cinema because everyone goes and enjoys themselves. And I'm like, it's not a good movie. Y'all just like boom booms and colors. Like that's not a good movie. And like the same could be said about Marvel movies, I feel like, and that's why a lot of people don't like them. But I feel like those have a story. Those make sense. Those interlock. You know what I mean? I feel like those they may not be the greatest of cinema. I will never make that claim. But like that's an okay movie. I don't think Fast and Furious has a single good movie. It's not like 1, 2, and 3. That's it.
Before I say something, Duff, go ahead, Duff, because you're the big movie guy in the chat. So
about Fast and Furious?
No, just in general.
About what?
Just
I want your view. I want your viewpoint.
Movies.
Yeah, I want your viewpoint on the Fast and Furious, though. I'll gladly take that.
So basically, all right. So I'll talk about Marvel and Fast and Furious. So when it comes to the Fast and Furious franchise, we grew up. And we were like, all right, this is a dope movie because there's a lot of good colors. And the story, we're young, so we don't really care about story at that age. You know what I mean? It's just what we see and what's presented to us. It's just a lot of people driving fast cars. And then we get to 3. I think at 3, that's when we all around the same age. So we probably was at that age, like, oh, we got comprehend and understand what's going on now. So when 3, was that Tokyo Drift? I don't know which one was Tokyo Drift. Well, by the time Tokyo Drift came out, I was like, oh, yo, this is actually a dope movie because they implemented black characters, which that we love. That's when we first seen what was Bow Wow, and that's when we first got introduced to Ludacris. He was in the movie, and then I may have seen 4. I don't know, but I know maybe after Tokyo Drift, that's when it was a huge decline. When they started having Vin Diesel do more than just driving, and that was the downcline for me. Like
he does everything in a t-shirt. That doesn't even make sense. Vin Diesel wears the same goddamn t-shirt and leather jacket every movie, bro. You're getting shot at. I haven't seen you get hit once.
And then it's like you said, Carlton. It's just a cash grab. It's just a quick cash grab because a lot of kids want to see Fast and Furious. There's a lot of production behind it. Also, it's a lot of marketability.
I
feel like that's what it is because you can do anything with Fast and Furious. It's a car, but why are these cars flipping? Why are they catching cars now?
So my mind's a little bit blown here. I'm gonna let you finish, but I looked up the movie list, and there's some movies in here I never heard of. But you can finish up what you were saying.
So then we implemented The Rock into the films, and then that's when the movie went skyrocket. Because we all know The Rock is like the blockbuster guy now. He has movies of just him fighting a building. Have you seen that, Carlton?
It's called Skyscraper.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Bro,
I know exactly what you're talking about.
I'm watching the trailer, and he's throwing his fist at a building. I'm like, there's no way the directors was like, yo, let's have The Rock fight a building. And that was a hit.
Yeah.
But
America is the land of like action heroes, but like our action heroes are ass nowadays.
Why are you fighting a building?
Right.
But
you gotta peep though, right?
Mm-hmm.
You gotta really peep that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. Getting my point about movies in general, because there's so much CGI now, like so, and I don't have a problem with CGI in my opinion, because I feel like it, when done well, when done well enough, it makes the movie great. When done well enough, right? But before this CGI era, this over CGI stuff, movies had to be good. Like
heavy
horror movies
on that.
weren't. Come on, like we all knew that shit was fake, but there were some horror movies back in
Ooh,
the day that would
you know
scare
what?
you.
I'm so glad you mentioned that about CGI. I'm about to say something else that is again going to be controversial. Some people might hate me for it. I do not think Blue Avatar People was a good movie. It was beautiful, and I believe that was the real kick in CGI where everyone was like, oh, we can really do some shit with this. That movie is not good. I've watched it at least 4 times, all the way through. Not good. No one can tell me otherwise. It is the most boring goddamn movie about a white hero ever.
Yeah, only seen like 10 minutes.
It's literally it. They finna drag. Hell yeah, yes, drag me. Please tell me I'm wrong, but I'm gonna tell you right now, Avatar sucked. It's about a white guy saving a bunch of indigenous people from other white people, and it's a Romeo and Juliet story, and it's just that's it. That's it, and it takes like
Dune,
3 hours to
was
tell.
Dune any better?
It's the worst.
But the reason why Avatar did so well, right, is because this at that time, correct me if I'm wrong, this was when this is when like everybody was so fascinated with colors and like LED and HD and 1080. So when this movie first came out and CGI was implemented into the big movie screen, people were like fascinated from the colors because it won. I don't know if it won best movie, but I did know for a fact it won for like best picture and best visuals and stuff like that, best soundtrack. So because they was like, oh, they made a whole movie with just CGI and this world is in its own. So people were fascinated from the way it looks rather than the story and the plot line. Because I'll tell you now, I never watched the bullshit. I'm not watching blue people get killed.
It's not good.
It's not fun. It's not fun. It's not good movies. When I process a movie, I look for like a few things. I look for the good acting, I look for a good plot, and I look for good visuals. You know what I mean? So, like I said, The Joker was one of the best movies I've ever watched. Even though it was it was a ripoff of the Martin Scorsese movie Taxi Driver.
You did tell me about that,
yeah. It was a real good, and that was also a real good film. But they took a lot of things from that film. It was almost identical, but yeah, just the cadence of it and the way Joaquin Phoenix masterfully acted through that film. I feel like he deserved all his roses through that film. You know what I mean? But yeah, man, I don't know. Marvel. When it comes to Marvel, we love Marvel. We grew up with Marvel, and as kids, we're like, we need to relive that nostalgia. But also, they kept up with the times as well because they did have Thanos in the old films, like at the end credits, but it was horrible because it was bad CGI.
It
But they
was
kept up with the times, and they managed to keep our attention span as kids, and they were like, you know what, all right. So everything that led up to it, it was like, I don't know, it was just like they're taking us on a ride, like, and this is the final destination. It was good though, but now it's just all bullshit. I'm not watching nothing else from Marvel.
It's just because it's just like I think for me it's the fact that I know that this was literally a 10, 11-year plan that I just sat through.
Yeah,
I'm not doing that again. I'm not doing that again because that's what they're doing. That's literally what they're doing again. It's the new phase for the new big bad guy, whatever it's going to be. I've had the argument with friends about whether it's going to be a space villain or a mythical villain, and it's just like, I love it. I'm super interested in it, but I ain't got it in me to be there in the theaters day one every time again. Spider-Man, I was going to be there just because that's heavy nostalgia. That's a nostalgia movie. Yeah, and I'm mad at myself I didn't see it yet, but that's, I don't care that much anymore. That's because you suck, but whatever.
It was terrible. But my point...
Talking about they gonna slander me. Watch your back.
It's terrible.
Come
for me, please.
There's gonna be a group of people in Spider-Man suits ready to jump your ass. And there's gonna be one dude that's like 6'3" and he don't fit his suit. I'm telling you now.
I could take that. But anyway, my point about movies is coming from somebody, that's written things and like has done the intricate, the plot lines and all that type of stuff. It really bothers me when I sit here and see these people have millions of dollars in budgets and come up with a very, very basic here, wrap it up, done. Oh, shit, CGI. And it's just like, I really paid money to watch this. And then you get mad when I stream shit for free. Like, I will watch every movie for free. But it comes to a point where it's like, I am paying you to fuck up your job. I am
I
not
mean,
doing that. I will
it's hard. It's I'm not gonna say movie making is easy, but it's just like it's
I mean,
I don't know, man. I don't
movie
know.
making these days is, I believe movie making these days, especially, we're not talking about like the up and coming director or producer. We're talking about the ones that's already established. I feel like it's quite easy because all these movies now are just sequels and rip-offs of previous movies.
Yes.
There
Yeah,
is no
yeah.
Yes.
innovation. There's no innovation with the
I
film.
100% agree with that. Creativity has left
It's gone.
Hollywood. Yeah.
Horror movies, all it is just, why do we have 30 Halloweens? It's just, we don't need it no more. She should have
Another
died.
Saw, ladies and gentlemen.
She should have died. I mean, Saw can always be reinvented because it's about Jigsaw and he just different puzzles and stuff like that. So,
Do something else.
but yeah, do something else. Create another movie villain. So everything's now just
It's
been
yeah.
ghosts, um, and remakes of Michael Myers. Literally, that's all.
I think we could go for a nice psychological thriller again. Things like Get Out showed that people still fuck with those heavy.
Yeah,
And it's just like psycho thrillers are amazing.
But
yeah.
So good.
even a counterpoint Duff's point, like, and I disagree with Duff's last point, and the reason why is because there are directors out there and producers like Jordan Peele who literally has not missed, in my opinion.
I said the
He's simply because
director's established already. He's still up and
Like
right,
coming.
but
fully
I'm saying
established. When he came out with his movies, that was his literally like I think it wasn't
His
Get
first
Out.
one. Get Out was his
Yeah,
first
it was
film.
his
So he directed.
first like
That's why I said
fully
up and coming,
directed
not the
job.
ones
Yeah.
that's
But we
hungry.
all know once you really get into something and you're in the thick of it for years, you lose touch with everything that's relevant. So that listen.
I think it depends. It depends on the artist. You
I
know
mean,
what I
how many
mean?
good
On the
movies
artist.
M. Night Shyamalan produced or directed?
Uh, uh, not many. You know what I mean?
He's been a name since forever.
Yeah, I get that, but that doesn't necessarily mean that once you're in, you're screwed. You know what I mean? I can't think off the top of my head any directors I can because I'm bad with that. When I used to watch movies, I was really bad at remembering actor names, directors, things like that. It's just not what I paid attention to. But you become an adult, you take some film classes, and now those things kind of matter and actually interest you. But it's just like I definitely feel like you can. There's some directors or writers out there who have a pretty clean track record.
Yeah.
I mean,
Did you?
maybe like maybe the Martin Scorsese's of the world or whatever like them, but not even them. Maybe even Quentin Tarantino. But my whole thing is, it's a lot more filth than fame, you know, in movies, in my opinion, a lot more filth. Even with music.
Mm-hmm.
What song did you play that one day, Carl, by Carlos Santana?
Huh?
Maria. Right?
Oh yes, oh, beautiful.
Before you get there with the film, and have you guys watched The Harder They Fall?
Yes.
The Jay-Z produced film.
Yes.
Oh, I heard about it. I didn't
That
watch
was
it.
that. Do you know that was the director's first film he produced? That was his first directed film. His first film ever. All the other
But how
ones
do
were
you feel
like
about that
small
movie?
documentaries. It was great. I think the film was great, but that just goes to say that, because you was talking about directors being out of touch. You know what I mean? That was his first film ever. His first big film ever. And he did outstanding for The Harder They Fall. Even though it was obviously you could say a black version of a Quentin Tarantino film, because that's the S that it gave. But it was a great film through and through. I loved the beginning, the middle, and the end.
I mean, for westerns though, westerns always have that plot build up, you know, middle, and then at the end everybody gets into a shootout. That's always more so like the plot line of westerns. But for what it was a damn good
pretty
movie,
good film,
I will say.
And that's what I'm saying. And that was his first big movie. All his other things were like small little docu-series. And it was a black man, by the way.
I'm glad you said that because I was just looking at a list of like renowned, directors, and it's like Steven Spielberg, Alfred Hitchcock, Stanley Kubrick, Quentin Tarantino. Like these are all people I know, and I guess here's the thing: they all have misses though. I don't think there's any. but it's like misses mixed in with good things. And so what I'll say is, I don't think that every director or actor or whatever gets into the industry and then falls into industry norms, but I will say that I think that everyone drops the ball. You know what I mean? Everyone drops the ball. It's like everything you write ain't gonna be the best thing you've ever written. That's just facts. You know what I mean? So I definitely think that there's some really great actors, directors, producers, whatever it may be out there, who do really good, consistent work that have, they dropped the ball a couple of times. But when you've been doing it as long as you have, I think it's fair to say you can't be perfect every time. But I like that you brought up that he was a black man, because there's not many black people on this list. As you can see, none of the top 5, 6 that I said are of any color.
No.
And I think that a big thing that's going on right now, and I kind of like it and I kind of hate it, because a lot of these streaming services, I feel like, are going to end up abusing the young ideas and minds that they collect.
Yes.
But there's a lot of young creatives out there, and I just want to put this out there. If you write, if you have ideas, if there's things that creative things that you want to try and do it. Because Hollywood got jack shit going on. And if you got something good and you have the things to back it, if you have the story, you have it written out, you have the plot, do it. Because we need ideas. I want to see some prolific directors of color. I want to see some we got actors of color, but like I want to see us doing the other things, the producing, the writing, the those type of things.
Yes.
Give me more Olivia Popes. Give me things like that. Give me ideas. You know what I mean?
Yeah, so
because they're out there.
I would love to see that as well, Carl. But I don't want to see. I don't want to see our people constantly being, typecasted into certain type of films. You know what I mean?
I tell people this all the time.
Even for like a director, like, you got the Ryan Coogler's, right? Ryan Coogler, his breakout film was Black Panther. That was his most notarized film, and after that, he has a lot of other films, but majority of those films follow the same exact black plot, and that's just Hollywood giving it to him. Like, here, you're.
It's like we do not need a new slavery movie every 6 years.
Yeah, but
thank you.
We don't need like you said, we don't need a slave movie every just to remind us what slavery was. We don't need to see that on screen every single.
My tragedy is not fucking entertainment.
Yeah.
I tell people that all the time. That is not entertainment. I shouldn't have to live it and then express myself. Movies and books and music, that's not real shit. I shouldn't be going in here to be entertained by real. I'm going in here for fantasy, for a new world, for a man. I want to ride a drive. I say this every time. As a black kid, watching movies and watching shit, I used to love Mace Windu, because Mace Windu was one of the only black people I ever seen in space. Just cause. He wasn't the only nigga. He wasn't selected to go because of a thing, and he was the only black man. No, he's just a nigga with a sword, with a lightsaber.
Yeah.
He was just there, cool as shit, just doing stuff. Yeah. Why can't that be all the time? Why can't I just be a nigga on a dragon? Why does Daenerys got to be the dragon? That's another thing. Game of Thrones, I didn't watch it all the way through. They done had that white girl be the Jesus for those colored people. They had them carrying her. That was some not great imagery in that show. But that's besides the point. Either way, black people, we don't have to be the same things. And that goes for Hispanic people too. And Asian people. And you don't have to be Kung Fu guy. You don't have to be Cholo that stabs people in the movie. We can do other shit. Bro, let me be other shit.
I've never seen, and this is some real shit right here. No jokes. I've never seen a movie with an Asian main character, and it doesn't involve like some type of martial arts.
Martial arts, meditation, a teacher.
Yeah, exactly. I've never seen a film where the main character was Asian, and it was just like he's just going to do some normal life shit, like ever.
Because then you got to think what you said. Right about this whole typecasting thing. When you've been in the business for so long, you're gonna have this preconceived notion that that shit's not gonna sell. This is what's gonna sell because that's what's worked. Again,
it's money grabs.
The progressive side of me wants to tell, hey, Mr. Director, hey, Miss Director, or whatever. I'm not asking you to reinvent the wheel, but I am asking you to change the tire. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can make a movie, but where is the? I'm not even sitting here screaming representation. Stop doing the same shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, and here's the thing.
I don't want representation that way.
I definitely think that, you know, we need new ideas. Let me put it that I don't think there's anything wrong with old ideas. The problem is doing old ideas the same. The whole point is, if you're going to take an old property, whether it be music, whether it be a movie, if you're going to take something old, the idea is that you're going to make it different and better. Like when people take, oh my God, the arguments about fucking Ghostbusters in the remake or whatever the fuck that I didn't even watch. I didn't even watch all the Ghostbusters. I only watched the first one. I didn't even watch 2. But the arguments and the back and forth and all this shit, and I'm just like, yo, it's the same movie. The second movie was just the same movie. Whether it was the same people or not, the movie would have been ass because it was the same movie. Why would you make the same? The first Ghostbusters did it best. That's why everyone loves it. So why would you take the same idea and just do it the same way? Make it different. Make it just different. Like you gave us Ghostbusters from the human perspectives and the ghosts. Give us Ghostbusters from inside one of the power vacs or some shit. Or what's going on in the other, you know what I mean? There's just so many ideas and things you could do with any idea, but they choose to do the same thing.
And all they did differently was just said, we're going to sprinkle some CGI on this shit. You get what I'm saying?
No, what they did differently was they replaced it with women. And you know, people
and didn't even give them anything like interesting about them. They were just the woman versions of what was there already. Like
that's another big problem. There's another big problem, just like how we have superheroes. You have superheroes, and then you quote unquote change their storyline, but you didn't change anything but their skin color. So
exactly, I hate that.
It makes sense.
I hate that.
We can create so many different heroes. There's so many different black heroes out there. Like I don't, like I said, just like you said previously, I don't give a fuck about no representation. But it's like, it's just like y'all just trying to cater out of guilt. That's what it seems like.
Yes.
I don't need a black Superman, bro. I don't need. What do I need a black Superman for? If we got a Luke Cage, you know what I mean? That doesn't make sense to me.
Exactly.
It's stupid.
Or a static shock. Say it again. Put my guy on a movie screen. I've been waiting for a Static Shock movie.
Why do I care? And this is coming from 3 black men. Why do I care if Captain America is black?
I don't. And let me tell you,
a white man passing down his shield to a black man.
That being said, I watched the show. I like how they did it. Because the whole point of the show and this whole issue with the shield is that his reasoning is, why the fuck would you give me this? I'm a black guy.
Yeah.
This don't mean the same thing to me. That's literally the whole point of the show before he picks it up. And that's why I fucked with it. But like the ideology of like other movies and how they do it, I 100% agree.
Listen, I'm pretty sure that all of us are well versed in superhero knowledge. You know, well versed, and we know that there are millions of superheroes. Why is it the same big 5 every?
Because they make money. But that's the thing. Here's where Marvel kind of like perfected their scheme here. Because Marvel and DC are just list of stupid ass characters out the ass. Some of them the goddamn same with different names. Some of them the same with the same name. But
it's a whole book. A Marvel
like literally
book.
There's just a bunch. So Marvel being able to come back from their bankruptcy shit and do what they did, now that they're popular, they can take these ideas with all these random ass characters and just do whatever the fuck. So that's why they can do these shows and movies about whoever the fuck, because it doesn't matter. Guardians of the Galaxy? Who the fuck was gonna watch a movie about Guardians of the Galaxy before like 2014?
No one. No one. I don't care about
the fuck's a group? A tree?
Be told, there's way more better groups in Marvel than the Guardians of the Galaxy, but again, they're the ones that the movie. Even in DC, like, think about it. You keep doing these now don't get me wrong, I love Batman. But there's a new Batman. There's a new Batman every 3 to 4 years. But my whole thing is, why can't we get Samuel L. Jackson to play Jon Stewart? You wouldn't go see that?
We haven't gotten a good Green Lantern film. I've been asking for a good Green Lantern film.
Where's the Jean Valjean movie?
Oh, what?
I'd love it.
Who was Green Lantern? Was it
Ryan Reynolds?
It was Ryan Reynolds, and then it was the other one. The other Green Lantern didn't get a movie.
Oh, I thought he was going to get one.
DC fucked up their whole movie schedule. They messed up with the actors. They messed up their own series of events there, which sucks because I was a DC fan before Marvel. So
DC is either miss or hit.
Back to Marvel,
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, Dub, go ahead.
No, I was saying that by all the DC films I watched, it was more misses than hits. You know what I mean?
It was.
Yeah.
Way
Even
more.
that Batman versus Superman was terrible.
Batman is literally DC's saving grace. Batman was good. I also
That's it.
enjoyed Watchmen, which was actually good too. Watchmen was a good film, but a
Yeah.
lot of people are not going to consider it as like DC, but it was a great film.
But
There's
that's an example of using like your not main 5 characters for some
Exactly.
interesting shit.
Who said
exactly
Suicide
Watchmen is
Squad?
great.
no
Watchmen.
Watchmen.
Oh, Watchmen. Watchmen.
Suicide Squad counts too.
The
If
first
if
one.
they
Squad.
fucking
I
do
didn't
it
like Jared
right,
Leto.
yeah.
I didn't like Jared Leto.
Here's the thing. In his defense, everything that made him important in that movie got cut out. So it was like, why was he even there to begin with?
Yeah,
In
it
his
was
defense.
awesome.
If they actually left his scenes, because he even said, and the director said, there's a bunch of shit that they recorded that they just threw out at the end anyway.
Yeah.
So he didn't even get to be his Joker. We just saw clips of it. Dude, I like it still? No. Maybe I would have liked it if I got more of Leto in the movie doing shit, but...
Like, yo, imagine a Deathstroke movie. And again, I know I'm just throwing
Oh
names
my
out there,
god!
but it's like, yo, we have a new Superman, a Batman vs Superman, a new Batman, a Wonder Woman, this, that. There are so many variations. And you can CGI it up. Do whatever you want. Right? But my whole thing is, it's not about reinventing the wheel. It's just changing the damn tire. You're running on flats, Marvel.
Mhm.
DC, I don't want a Doctor Strange movie. I don't. I truly don't. I don't give a damn.
I do. I like Doctor Strange. I do.
He is nice though, but like it's enough. It's
Especially after the What If. If you watch the What If, you fuck with Doctor Strange.
I did. Yo, but you don't like. We can't get a Fantastic Four movie.
Well, here's the thing. It's all again with the directors and the writers. They keep fucking it up to the point where it's like they fuck it up, and because they get such a bad reception, the idea's got to get chalked, which means they can't play with properties anymore. They have to use the big names because they're too big to fail.
And
You can't fail with Superman because either half of them are going to like it, half of them are going to love it, but everyone's still going to spend their money.
Mm-hmm.
I think
DC's
Sony
risking
owns parts of Marvel as well.
What happened?
I believe you can fact check this. I believe Sony owns parts of Marvel.
Sony owns
Spider-Man.
owns a lot of the Spider-Man characters and properties because back before the Iron Man movies and shit like that, Marvel was on the edge of bankruptcy, and they were pretty much selling heroes like properties, IPs to stay afloat. And they are, on their rise back, they bought a lot of them back. But Sony has been Sony, and they're like, you can eat my ass if you want Spider-Man back, especially since
I believe that Sony has Venom too.
Yeah.
Sony.
But here's the thing. That being said, of course, big business is big business. They're now working together. So now they're two different franchises are now working together. So now Venom has, I think his I didn't watch the movie again, but I'm behind on that. But I think he has an ending credits with like a tie-in to Marvel Spider-Man.
I'm not saying anything.
Yes, I already know what you're gonna say because someone did kind of spoil that for me.
I'm not saying anything.
So we'll leave it alone. But
yeah, man, I don't know. I want to like DC movies, but they just
I do too.
They drop the
I do
ball
too.
so much. But I love when they execute the movie so perfectly because I like to see realism within the reality, like non-reality shit. You know what I mean? Like they know how to mix fiction and non-fiction so perfectly to make it look fluent. So like when you're watching a Batman film, you're like, damn, I actually could see myself in this world. You know what I mean? When you got Marvel, you're like, I don't see. Because a nigga just throwing cars at the building 24/7. But we watch a Batman film, it's dark and gritty. Shit like this really could happen.
Shit is in the trenches.
I feel like the DC they execute that perfectly, but they just have horrible. I don't know. It's just something about DC films is just horrible to me.
So a big thing for me with writing, right? I got my own personal show that I'm writing, and it's just like I try to pay attention to these things. I feel like in a lot of times in Marvel movies, there's no character consequences.
Yeah.
Where it's just like there's like the main turmoil of like, for example, you have Cap. His main turmoil is I'm
Racism.
from the
He's racist.
Yo! He's from the 50s or the 30s or whatever the fuck, whenever World War II happened, I forget. And he's adjusting to being in the modern world and shit like that. There's these little problems that everyone has, but it's like I feel like despite that, they still they still struggle with becoming characters. They still
Yes.
struggle with giving off like an emotion that I could be like, I understand. We didn't get a lot of times. I feel like we don't get those emotions till super bad shit happens.
You talking about DC or Marvel?
Marvel.
Just movies in general.
Okay.
All right,
Okay.
Carl. Before you proceed, though, I want to say this because you made a good point, right? So, what I did notice, right? Marvel doesn't have any type of superhero or character development whatsoever. They have good story development, but they don't have any like personal internal character development. And if
No.
they do, it's not well. They'll give it
I
to
can
like
tell
the
you every
super
time it
smart
happens.
character.
I can tell you every time it happens because it's a plot point and that's it.
Yes.
Character development should be a part of the plot, but for Marvel
Yes.
movies, they make it a plot point. So literally, the Avengers movie, the characters have all their different faults that they're dealing with, and they come together, and you see them build as characters. But again, that wasn't happening along with the plot. That was just the plot.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I feel like characters should be experiencing events, and you see them learn from the events and therefore acting different in new events. That's why a lot of times I fuck with Spider-Man movies, because the whole point of them is that the kid's learning. He's
Yes.
figuring this shit out, and when shit goes wrong, he's in distress. He has to think it out. He has to go, I fucked up. Spider-Man 2, he gives up. Spider-Man
Yes.
2, Tobey Maguire, the original ones, he gives up because he's like, I'm fucking up. This shit's difficult. There's actual, like, and again, that is a part of the plot. It is a part of the plot, but I feel like that's still, those set of movies is still better character development where you're watching a character grow and learn and be different without that being the point of the movie.
I want to throw my opinion in here real quick.
It's kind of, yeah, go ahead.
Because like the difference that I have between Marvel and DC, especially with what you guys both just said, is when you think about Marvel, like take a character like Bucky Barnes, right?
Mhm.
Bucky Barnes, you know, or a character, you know, like Mr. Fantastic, or even Wolverine. You know, I would say in terms of Marvel, that is probably one of the only characters that I can recall that have the most in terms of like character catharsis, like has that level of production. But DC is so different because the characters that the directors they try to focus on are all OP as fuck. Right?
Yeah.
Batman has an answer to every superhero in the Justice League. Superman can blink and fart and have a new power. Wonder Woman is Wonder Woman. You know, Catwoman, who cares? You know, but the characters that they focus on, they don't really have a lot of pitfalls to where, like, for example, the Green Lantern movies were bad. The reason why was because they weren't done correctly. Even movies like Shazam were done bad because, again, their character development and their catharsis wasn't done correctly. But you have characters like that need the spotlight, like Black Adam. You know, he would love a movie. Characters like Deathstroke. You can play this out for 2 to 3 movies.
And you want to know why that is? You want to know why that is? It's because in hero movies, most of the time, like if it's a builder, you know, their first movie or whatever it is, the whole point is you're building their character or whatever. And then once it's built, that's it. That's him. That's it. And that's him for the next 5 movies. And then when they try and give him some kind of internal issue, he's just going to solve it again.
Yeah.
So it's hard. When you have villains like Deathstroke and shit, you can make an interesting character out of that because his life is interesting. The man ain't figured out. He's fucked up in the head and he does bad shit, but also has good feelings sometimes. And it's just like, it's like if I watch a character go do a fight and realize in the fight he gets his hand beat or he gets his ass beat just using his hands. I want to see him go into the next fight and realize that I'm gonna throw a kick here. You know what I mean? But it shouldn't be the whole movie. Whole movie is me watching him learn how to kick. It should just be that I should be able to see the character progress as he's moving.
Yeah.
First fight, he only uses his hands. This is, again, just a crude example. First fight, he only uses his hands, gets his ass beat. Second fight, I see him doing his thing. He's using his hands. Same scenario, boom, gets a kick off. That makes everything different. And you think to yourself, he ain't do that before. You know what I mean? Like, he's growing. This is literally watching him grow. Again, a crude example, but same concept.
Yeah.
It should be a part of the story, not the story. And I feel like that's what makes it better. When your character is progressing on a separate lane that's still attached to the main plot that's going on. Like, you should be learning lessons along the way that'll eventually accumulate into you being whatever you need to be by the end. But like that needs to happen. It shouldn't happen once. It's a learning process. It
Yeah.
shouldn't. You shouldn't just get it, figure it out. You know what I mean? And like halfway through the movie, it's just like now I'm a hero, and then you're perfect. You're good. Like no, it's a process.
Mhm.
You're just better now, but it's still a struggle. You're still figuring shit out. You're not there yet. DC heroes are there. They're done.
Yes.
They
What are you
start
going to
off
What are you going to
strong.
tell Superman? Superman was a great guy from the rip, raised good, always had good intentions. I have powers. I also got good intentions. That's my character.
Yeah, maybe that's the reason why I have a strong distaste for those films. Because, like you said, Shiz, like this, like all of these heroes are like OP, so it's like hard to get into that story
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
once the hero like he doesn't have like a negative background, so it's like it's not like trauma, but it's like I want to see why you became the person you became, not already set in
Right.
stone. Like the
Exactly.
beginning of Wonder Woman is like, what was it? Wasn't she like fighting in the bank and she was already Wonder Woman? And so yeah, it's like that. But that's why I like the Batman films because it's dark and gritty. That's how I feel like they should do it.
Right.
And
It's
it's
like
character development within the movies. Like damn,
Like,
Batman,
Like
I'm getting
DC
my
would
ass
never
example.
make an Injustice film.
yeah.
Would never make an Injustice film ever.
well, here's the thing: they're not set up to. I'm sure, like somewhere along the line, that was a plan. Because if that's what their games, like the Mortal Kombat, like Injustice games, like superhero games, that's what they are. It's the full plot essentially. So I think deep down they had the idea in the back, but they just couldn't establish the steps to get to where they need to be.
Like yo, imagine Batman actually killed. Like even in the last Batman movie with Heath Ledger, he said, "I know you're not going to kill me." Right? This tragic story is going to keep going on and on and on and on and on. Imagine in that movie, Batman killed the Joker, or Superman killed that Joker, and became evil for the first time. Like you said, Duff. Superman. I'm always raised right. Oh, Carl. I'm always raised right. I come from good stock. Now you're the villain. So how are these people who Diana, Bruce, all these
Mhm.
people who are your best friends? Now we have to kill you. So
But
like,
but even then, it's still kind of like it still just kind of like follows the line. For me, for example, if I had the privilege of writing a fucking Superman story from the rip, boom, falls to Earth, blah blah blah, kids growing up, I'd have it where kid figures out he has these powers, and it's just we watch him throughout his youth, or not entirely watching him grow from fucking 1 to 20 or whatever, but like kind of like the Smallville-esque thing where it's like you're watching his growth develop, but like we watch him not just save people. Like we see him, maybe he saw some people, bullying some kid one day down the street, and he goes and he helps them. You know what I mean? He's figuring out his powers. He realizes he's a little bit stronger than them. He does what he does. And then the next day, or another scene, we see him use his powers to do something for himself. Like he sees some shit that he wants, and he just cold breath blows it or some shit so he could get, you know what I mean? Show me a character struggling with his powers and what he can do and what his placement is in the world,
right.
and
That's
have
why
that be his
so
personal
good.
thing that's going on while the rest of the movie is going. You know what I mean? Have him figure out what he's doing, because at the end of the day, no one's just out the ass good all the time. Bless the people who are, but like that's not gonna make for an interesting film unless you do it properly. And it's just like that's what his films are always going to be set to be, him being the good guy. So at least give me him developing and figuring out how he's going to be a good guy, or maybe he's a good guy that's still, just a guy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's just so many things you could do to make these characters interesting that just don't happen.
Yeah, I agree. I agree, man. I really do. But I don't know. I feel like we've gotten to a place where is what it is at this point. With even with things like real world, COVID, dealing with it, movies dealing with it, just more so a lot of just what's the word I'm looking for here? Like just coexisting rather than actually trying to reinvent or try to fix. That's just kind of the way life is right now, and it's definitely giving me a little bit an uneasy type of feeling where like we're just so quick to just coexist and deal with it, and it's like I literally don't watch movies on purpose because like, I am not gonna sit here and give you 3 hours of my life for you to waste my brain cycle. You waste my time all the time.
I mean, I definitely get what you're saying. I definitely get what you're saying. We do allow things to waste our time, but it's kind of like I like to think of there are some things that are like a clear waste of time. Don't get me wrong. The things that are a clear waste of time, cut that out your life. It's stupid. I don't. I am 100% for experiencing life, seeing things, seeing. You can learn something from everything. As you know, like you said, you're a person that writes. I'm a person that writes. I'll watch a bad film just so I could pick it apart and be like, this is why it didn't work. Or how could this have been better? You know what I mean? It's like
Mm-hmm.
there are definitely opportunities to do those type of things, but again, you have to be in the mindset to do that. You can't just go watch a shit movie and be like, "Oh, well, that sucked," and then go home and then complain about why it sucked. Because then, yes, it's absolutely just a waste of time now. But you know what I mean? It's like at that point, it's just like at least turn something out of it. Like I said, if you happen to be a writer, you happen to be a creative, I would be like, all right, I probably would have had him jump out of this corner instead, or critique, do something, make your
intentional.
find your interest in it. You spent the money, you use the time,
Yeah,
find your piece in it. Do something on your end to be like, now it's worth it. I tore this bitch apart. This shitty ass movie. I split it out the ass and gave the real fucking review and explained how it could have been better. Congrats. That thing that was a waste of time, it's not anymore because you did something for you. You put your thoughts on paper, you made your critiques, you put out your ideas, and now they exist. Whether you do something with it or not, or post it somewhere or give it to someone, that's all on you. But you've done something out of your waste of time, essentially.
exactly. Yeah, it's about watching, like you said, it's about watching intentfully. It's just spotting the difference between clear indicators of your time being wasted and like something I don't know, like a project, like something that you want to criticize. Because if you look at somebody that does critiques, their job is watching bad movies purposely and telling you what they don't like. So that's not a time waster on their behalf. You know what I mean?
It's not.
Yeah.
So their job is to literally critique film, whether it's good or bad. So just like you said, Carl, even with writing, you know what I mean? You can watch many films just to critique it and take apart what you like and dislike, and then you can make it your own. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah, I definitely agree with y'all talking about.
I've definitely read books where I've just been like, by the time I got to the end of the book, I was like, I did not like this book. Still finished the fucking book.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would that be a quote unquote waste of time? I guess yes, but I had
You learn
interest in
from
seeing it through because I was like, this is what I didn't like from it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
By the time I got to the end of it, I was like, I hated it, but this is why I hated it. I know what I hate now. I know why this shit is stupid to me.
hmm It's a
You
lesson
know?
more
Glad you
than
brought that
anything.
up.
It's not a waste of time.
Go,
I look at it
go
as a
ahead, bro.
lesson. Like keep going. I'm just saying. I look at it as a lesson rather than waste of time. If you
Yeah.
perceive life like that, I feel like you can learn much more.
I mean, yeah, I definitely agree with that. I read a lot. As you
Yeah.
can see, like, I got a lot of
You
books.
read a lot more than I do.
I read a lot, right? Whether it's articles, journal entries, reports, books. I read a lot. When I was younger, I never did this before in my life. And I only did this with one series. So it was 5 books in the series, and I read the last one twice. I never did that in my life. The best childhood series I ever read was the Percy Jackson series.
I did the same exact thing. I was thinking the same thing. The Last
Percy
Olympian,
Jackson
that
series.
last book, I read that maybe 2-3 times because I was just so satisfied with it, and
It
I loved
was so
experiencing it
good.
every time.
Duff, are you familiar with those books, Duff?
I know what the books are, but I didn't read
All right,
growing up.
it's fine. Yo, when I found out that they was coming out with a movie, that was the
So
first time
excited.
in my life I was like, yo, I need this ticket. 12
I was so
a.m.,
excited.
hands
Then I
raised.
saw the movie and I walked out and said, I hope this is the last time they make an affront on the literature that I appreciated as a child, and I hope I never see this thing come to theaters again
And
with
they
the
made a
title
second
Percy
one.
Jackson. Of course they did. I hated it. I hated it. I hated
The
it.
lightning
And
speed.
everyone was just like, well, you should be happy. At least you got it. And I'm like, what's the point of getting it if I didn't enjoy it?
Can you pull up who directed that movie, by the way?
Absolutely.
But while he's doing that, I just wanted to say that I think that was the moment when I was like, yo, I have no hope for movies ever, because that crushed my childhood in terms of movie going. Who is it?
One
Listen
second.
now. While you talking, listen, but it was books that were successfully turned into films. You got the Hunger Games, which was successful in
Twilight.
the
Mm-hmm.
box office, Twilight, and you also got Harry
Mm-hmm.
Potter. Don't forget about
Hold
Harry
on,
Potter.
hold on, hold on. Harry Potter, yes. Hunger Games, yes. Twilight is successful not because it is a good book, because it is a
No,
shit
no,
book.
not because it's a good
The
book. Yeah.
writing is very bad in that book. I'll
Mhm.
die by that. Director for Percy Jackson and the Lightning thing. His name is stupid. His
Lightning
name
thing.
is Chris Columbus.
Damn.
Writers Craig Titley and Rick Riordan, but he's
Yeah, that
under
boy
the novel, of
Christopher
course, because
Columbus.
he.
They got that boy Christopher Columbus
Yeah,
directing
his
Percy
name is
Jackson.
Christopher Columbus.
Yo, what is he doing alive still? Christopher Columbus,
That's sad.
ain't that's the guy that did that one thing?
Is that the
He
guy that
discovered the wrong place or some shit.
Yeah,
swam in
discovered
the
the wrong
Olympics?
place. Yeah.
Pierce Brosnan was in this movie.
Like I said, make a long story
Oh.
short, it's
Sorry.
ridiculous to how you see these type of things. And again, small moment for me that turned me into a supervillain with movies. That it was like I took so much time. I took so many summers waiting for these books to drop, and it's like you fucked up the bag so crazy because I would have bought all that merchandise. I would have been in all. And granted, I'm just one person. Still, it's like Avatar, another one, right? Movie from our childhood, the M Night Shyamalan.
Oh, Last
Avatar.
Airbender. Hate it. It hurt me that it was so bad. Let's take it a step back. Dragon Ball Evolutions. I have never. I rented that movie so I can make my siblings watch it and understand what anger is. Because they were all Dragon Ball Z fans, because I'm a Dragon Ball Z fan, and I was like, y'all want to see something bad? Like bad? Watch this. They got this man Goku in high school. Watch this. Like,
Nigga,
but it's just
I would
like,
rather watch snow accumulate on the ground before I
then watch that
Dragon Ball
movie.
Z. Yeah.
Yeah.
I would rather watch a bear just walking in peace in
Yeah.
nature for
I'd
34
rather
hours
cook
straight,
rice one by one to watch that
one
shit.
by one to watch that shit. Watch it cook
One by
too.
one.
That
That's
movie
some
is so
bullshit, man.
bad. Like, and they gave the nigga the worst hairstyle. Was the guy? I don't know. Was he even like? He wasn't even Asian. He was just like
He
No, it
wasn't
was
Asian.
just some dude. It was just some white kid.
some
He
nigga they
was not
picked up
Asian.
from off the street.
Hold on. I'm looking it up. Dragon
No, he don't
Ball.
deserve no name. He don't deserve his name.
Yeah, don't get that man
He don't
out on
deserve no
the show.
recognition.
He don't deserve.
You're right.
Random white kid. We don't. Piccolo was Piccolo even in that film?
Yes, terribly. Oh my gosh, Piccolo looked like a fucking green. Like I. Hold on. It made me mad. That's one of the worst parts of the movie. Hold
This is
on.
in high school. Goku can't even fly. What's going on here?
Man, let me tell you something. Certain things, again, I get that we want to see human, representation
action.
in certain movies. Put it left. That's Piccolo?
That was Piccolo in the movie.
Who does that? That looks like the pincushion guy.
Pinhead, yes.
Yeah, it was like Pinhead.
Looks like Pinhead. It looks like a scroll from Marvel.
Like Quan Chi almost.
Is bad. Is bad.
Dr. Manhattan.
Is so bad. Oh, it's so bad. Didn't they have a Bulma too? Roshi was Asian.
Bulma was Asian.
Holy shit! Yes, everyone was Asian except Goku. Chow Yun Fat as Roshi, Jamie Chung as Chi Chi, Erica Tamaro as Mei. Oh no, Bulma was white. Anyway, sorry. Bad movie talk.
Yeah.
That was terrible.
We killed an hour talking about shit films?
Yeah. I mean, I think our runtime for this one will probably be around an hour and 50 minutes, I think.
Which I think means we should probably start wrapping it up. I'm sure they're tired of hearing us at this point.
Yeah. I mean, hey, man, look, it's episode 1 of 2022. You know?
Yeah. Strong start.
Well, listen, man. You want to take us away, Duff?
You could take us away.
All right, man. Well, listen. First of all, I have to give a big. I still don't believe that's Duff No Beard, by the way. I think that's a clone. I will be checking his DNA after the episode because he refused to turn on his camera. Yeah.
Oh, it's a
That's
black
not right.
hand. Who knows what that is?
I do not know what that is. I do not know what that is.
Hold on. It's a ceiling. Wait for it.
That's all y'all
Hey!
getting. That's
Yo,
all
who
y'all
aunt
boys
is
getting.
that? Is that somebody's aunt?
Yeah, boy,
Is that
that's all y'all
somebody's
boys getting.
auntie?
That's
Auntie, you
somebody.
under the weather over there. Anyway, listen, this episode, I don't know at this point. First episode of 2022. 2021 was crazy. We made it. RP Betty White, RP Young Dolph. I am your host for today, tomorrow, next year, and forever until we shut this shit down, which we never will do. Vanessa Velli, follow me on Instagram, Twitter, at Vanessa Velli. Go subscribe to the YouTube channel. Go follow Ordinary Antics on YouTube and Instagram, Twitter. And I am signing off.
I'm Duff No Bear. You can follow me on Twitter right now. Proceed with caution. You can follow me on Twitter. Also, if you wanna support us financially, you can also subscribe to our Patreon, and you can go to the podcast and chill show. I think that's what it is. I don't know these days.
It is the
Um,
podcast show. I do
if
run
you,
the
Mm-hmm.
Patreon, yes.
so if you listening on Apple Podcasts, like I always say, make sure you leave a rating, review, subscribe, send to a friend. If you listen to this on SoundCloud, just share it or give us a like, man, and follow us on SoundCloud. Spotify, do the same thing. Tell us why you love it. Tell us why you hate it. Tell us what we could have done better.
Absolutely. Oh, I
And
guess I should
this
say
is
something too.
Carlton.
Fuck
Yes.
Carl.
Oh, my bad. Yeah.
And
My
this is
name's
Carlton.
Carlton. Carlito, whatever you want to call me is cool with
Butters.
me. Just don't be disrespectful. Don't call me Butters. I will shoot you. Um. You can follow me on socials. I don't really do shit on there. I can look it up. Don't care enough. Follow my Twitch though. I do play games, talk about shit, have fun. You know, my Twitch is Big C Streams because that's me. I'm
Big
big.
C.
I'm C, and I stream. So you know,
Big
that's
C.
that's what I get into. Yeah, yes sir. You gonna talk shit on my go away? That's what you're doing here.
All
You're
right,
trying
Big
to
C.
say
Well,
goodbye, and you gonna interrupt and toss your unwanted opinion in there. That's just what you're gonna do at the end of the show. In the last couple of minutes, and you're just gonna I was a guest. I thought
episode
we
1 of January 22. Wow, this is gonna be a crazy year. RP Betty White. She didn't do it. Peace.